This is Fitchburg State football here on FATV from Elliott Field on a dreary, cool fall afternoon. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolak. And Dan, today the Falcons face one of the toughest tests of the season for them as they take on the 2-2 Rams of Framingham State University.
That's correct, John. And the Rams, yes, 2-2 overall, but 2-0 in MASCAC play and picked to defend their MASCAC title.
As we honor America,
it's going to be a tough test for the Falcons as we're going to break for the anthem.
College football Saturday here on FATV as the Falcons take on the Rams of Framingham State University. John Gugerty joined by Dan Bolak. And Dan, we were talking about the tough test the Falcons face today in the form of the Framingham State Rams.
Yes, as we mentioned, the Rams are 2-2, but their two losses came to two very tough teams, both forward, one coming into this week in Endicott and Brockport, and both on the road. But the Rams have shown themselves to be strong in MASCAC play. A 48-21 win over Westfield to open up conference play. Had the week off 2 weeks ago. Last week, a 39-33 win over UMass Dartmouth to dispatch the Corsairs from the ranks of the unbeaten. UMass Dartmouth off to one of their best starts in program history. They'd won their first four before Framingham had a rebuttal for that.
Framingham State having a good season and having a good run against Fitchburg, winners of their last 10 meetings against the Falcons. The last time Fitchburg State beat Framingham State, you have to go all the way back to 2008.
And it has been a struggle for the Falcons over the last 10 years, and so 26-7 was the result for Framingham over Fitchburg last year. Last time they were at Elliott, 32-16.
We are just about ready for action here at Elliott Field, and here with all the play-by-play action for the first quarter is Dan Bolak.
Daniels Latham, the Latvian kicker, will kick this one away, and we are underway here from Fitchburg as Mizzy Gillo Aquendo will field it for the green and gold. And one of the Rams getting a handful of that undershirt there, pulling him down by that at the 20-yard line, and that's where the Falcons will start their first drive of the game.
That was Jack Sullivan grabbing that yellow T-shirt on Gillo Aquendo and just pulling him down by it.
And now the Falcons will take the field for the first time, and Connor Fitzsimons, the senior from Flushing, New York, will lead the Falcons onto the field. Last week, Fitzsimons 25 for 45 against Plymouth State, 190 yards, but was picked off 4 times. One of those picks brought back to the house.
Bit of a different look in the backfield as well. It is Steve Lawton getting the start at tailback. You see him there, number 30.
First throw is complete to Jesse Brown on the left side. It's going to be a gain of just about 3 yards, though. A short dump-off pass to the left side. Brown immediately wrapped up, but one pass, one completion. There's that going.
There, he's got that going for him.
Second and 7.
Fitchburg State, we've seen a lot of the running game for them all season. It hasn't really been doing well. They mix it up a little bit here, go shotgun with the quick pass on their first play from scrimmage.
The Falcons over the last week or so have been utilizing a lot of different looks offensively and defensively. The injury bug has been hitting them hard. Falcons have 2 receivers to either side. Lawton in the backfield. Low snap has to be picked up. They give it to Lawton, but he's immediately wrapped up. Josh Smiley, the first to arrive, and he knocks the Falcons back.
Smiley as well as Anthony Bohanic will get credit for the tackles. But as we take a look at this one again, you can see it's a low snap. Fitzsimons has trouble handling it, and then still decides to go with the play as drawn up, hands it to Lawton. He runs right into the arms of Josh Smiley.
So that botched play results in the Falcons losing what they had gained on first down, and now a 3rd and 10. Falcons were 7 for 15 against Plymouth last week on 3rd down. Drew Ridnour will move in motion to the right side. Fitzsimons will roll out to the right side. Look, throw, incomplete, out of the reach of Jesse Brown. And so 3 and out for the Falcons on this opening drive.
Pass was thrown behind Jesse Brown. Fitzsimons was rolling to his right, trying to throw right. It actually came across his body a little bit too far for Brown to make the reception. Now Fitzsimons, as he always does, will stay on the field and do the long snapping as Fitchburg State kicks it away.
Falcons did not have the services of Joe Haskins last week up in Plymouth. He is back in the lineup this week for the green and gold. He was sorely missed in the punting game. Haskins rolls it out, has that nearly blocked, but gets a nice punt away. It'll go into Rams territory, and Robert Jackson will down it at the 44-yard line.
Rams offense, 1st and 10.
Pretty good punt, all things considered, for Haskins.
Averages 32 yards a punt. The sophomore from Pepperell, the former North Middlesex Patriot.
They got hot dogs and pizza, they got some candy.
And now we'll see the Rams offense for the first time today, led by Adam Wojcinski, the reigning gold helmet winner from the New England Football Writers.
Well, when you throw for 422 yards and 5 touchdowns on just 14 completions, you're going to get some points for that.
You will indeed. So Wojcinski under center here on first down. Play action, and taking it on the end around is Devon Ford. Gets it around to the 49-yard line. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Jacob Marr put in the backfield?
That was Jacob Marr. He's a tight end on your scorecards, but Jacob Marr, number 8, lined up in the backfield here. They fake the handoff to him and then give it to Ford, ostensibly the main running back, running the sweep. He gains about 7 yards. It'll be 6 yards. Call it 2nd and a long 4.
Marr, an All-American tight end for Framingham. He actually was an All-American tight end for Worcester State, transferred to Framingham for his senior season. It's just made a tough test even worse, and Marr gets the completion here, and look at him break to the right side, still going at the 20-yard line, and that's what he's taken down by Rich Austin, but a big gain for Framingham. And a great example of what Jacob Marr can do.
The Rams has advertised 2 plays, and they are already knocking on the door deep in Falcon territory. You see it here, a beautifully thrown ball on a laser right into the hands of Jacob Marr, and then in the open field, making defenders miss, finally brought down by Rich Austin from behind, but he's already inside the 20.
6'4", 230 is the senior from Marshfield. Wojcinski, the senior quarterback from Stratford, Connecticut. Pull out into the pistol here, and the handoff goes to Ford, trying to get around to the left side. Got a lot of speed there. Tripped up around the 15-yard line. The freshman from Mashpee getting a good 6 yards on that one.
Gain of 6 on the play.
See here again, it's just a simple handoff, running off tackle to the left. Not really able to turn it loose for a huge gain, but just inching his way upfield, picks up 5-6 yards. Framingham State moving the ball pretty much at will early on this first possession.
Ford averages about 4.5 yards per carry. He's shown himself to have some explosive speed at times, and for a freshman, could be dangerous in the years to come. Go to Ford again, tries to cut up the middle. There is nothing there. David Morales there to help wrap him up for the green and gold. Caleb Gonsalves there as well.
You had it just right, Dan. It was Morales and Caleb Gonsalves. Really the first positive play for the Falcon defense. Sets up 3rd down and 4. And after the ease with which Framingham got this deep, it would be a shame for them if they had to go for a field goal.
Rams were 6 for 12 on 3rd down last week against UMass Dartmouth. Got one receiver to the right, looking heavily to run on this one. Devon Ford will run. He's inside the 10-yard line. It will be goal to go for the Rams. Down at the 6-yard line is Ford.
3rd down and 4 after you got stuffed on a handoff on 2nd down. They go back to Ford. This time he gets a good hole from his offensive line, gets into that 2nd level, and he picks up the 1st down, sets up now 1st and goal for Framingham State.
Looked like the Rams were going with a run-heavy formation there. Looked like only one receiver split out. This time 2 receivers to the left side for Framingham. 2 in the backfield for the Rams as well. Wojcinski under center. Will hand it off to Ford. Can't get through the pile. And ultimately, it's going to be no gain on 1st down.
First time we've seen that pitch from Framingham State. This time Caleb Gonsalves got into the backfield pretty much right as Ford looked to turn upfield. Gonsalves wraps him up, drives him down. Muki Ashima also there. It'll be 2nd and goal. We'll see what the Rams have here.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ford in the backfield out of the pistol. It so appears for Framingham. And a botched handoff there, a loose football. Fitchburg's trying to scoop this one up. They should just fall on it. They're going to fall on it. And they surely have the football here. A huge mistake for Framingham. And looking like they were on the doorstep of scoring, they come away with nothing.
Evan Drake is the man who finally fell on the football. For a moment, it looked like Royale Richards was going to scoop and score. See there, a fumble on the exchange, and then it hits Ford's foot. It's rolling backwards right there. Royale Richards has the end zone on his mind. Can't fall on the ball. Fortunately for Fitchburg, they still pick it up. Evan Drake once again with the recovery. A huge break for the Falcons. Looked for all the world like Framingham was going to walk into the end zone. Instead, they come away with nothing. And the offense is back on the field.
The former Murdoch Blue Devil, Evan Drake, with that big interception. First play for Fitzsimons on this drive, nearly intercepted out of the hands of Cully Curran.
Almost gave it right back to the Rams. Cully Curran looked like he was the intended receiver on that play. He was the closest man to the ball, and he was wide open. Fitzsimons staring down the receiver to the left. Cullen jumps the route perfectly. Just hits off his hands. Cully Curran, the sophomore linebacker from Arlington, Mass. Another play where for a second you thought, oh my goodness, that's going to be 6 for the defense.
Fitzsimons has already thrown 2 pick sixes this season. On 2nd down, Lawton wrapped up in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 yards as the Rams smelled the run and committed to it, and it pays out for them.
3rd down and 12 for Fitchburg State. Lawton running right into an entire herd of Rams. Give Josh Smiley credit for the initial hit.
Lawton, a sophomore from Ayer, originally was the starting fullback on this Falcon squad, but has now moved up to tailback. And in the 2 games where he's gotten significant snaps, he has looked like the best runner in those games. A rollout to the left side, a throw is complete to Josh Nelson. Nelson shakes off the tackle, cuts to the middle of the field. He's got a 1st down, he's lost the football, and Cully Curran's got it for the Rams. And it's pitched out to the near side, and now a reverse back. My goodness. Carl Alphonse finished with it on that one, but Framingham's got the ball back. Just as the Falcons looked like they were going to have their first down of the game, they have in fact given it right back.
The ball is flying all over the field here at Elliott. Josh Nelson with the catch and run, getting the 1st down, then losing the football. Curran picked it up, and almost immediately, Dan, as soon as he was starting to run with it, he was looking for Carl Alphonse to make the pitch to him. We'll take a look at the end of it here. Nelson breaks that tackle, gets into the open field, and then he's hit from the side. That's Brian Donahue who knocks it loose right into the arms of Curran, and then he looks left and pitches it out. Now the Ram offense, this is the tight end Marr with the carry.
Very strange look on 1st down there for the Rams. They had Marr in motion, moving into an I formation, and then suddenly a quick handoff to him. He only gets 1 yard. It was very strange how that developed.
2nd and 10.
I've seen Marr in the backfield a couple of times for Framingham State. They faked the handoff to him, went with the sweep to Ford. This time he gets the carry and doesn't get much out of it.
Wojcinski into the pistol here on second down, 3 receivers to the right. Throw over the middle, that one is caught. Immediately pulled in there by the Rams.
Austin Nunn with the catch, and then he does a really good job just hanging on to the ball here. As we take a look at this one again, you're going to see Nunn gets leveled after he makes this catch right there. A big hit by the Falcons. That was A.J. Cadell laying down the lumber. But Nunn did a good job, again, hanging on to the ball, maintaining possession, picks up a first down for Framingham.
12-yard completion for Nunn, his 16th catch of the season, second on the team behind Marr. 3 receivers again to the right side for the Rams on 1st and 10. A play-action throw to the right side is caught. And going up the right sideline there for Framingham State.
Anthony Lombardo the catch on the wide receiver screen. They go play action to Ford, and then a quick hitter to the far side.
Lombardo, a freshman from Colts Neck, New Jersey. Don't think he really has any receptions on the season, very few.
Well, he has one now.
He wasn't in my top 8, I can tell you that much.
Just a quick little bubble screen to him off the play action that was always designed to go to Lombardo, and he gets the first down.
2 receivers to the left now for Framingham on another first down. It's going to be Ford this time. Find some space up the middle. And down around the 10-yard line.
Devon Ford.
So once again, Dan, Framingham State moving the ball. They gave it away on their last possession.
Richard Austin applying the hit to the Falcons.
But after a gift from the Falcons gave them the ball back, Framingham State looks to capitalize.
9 yards gained by the Rams on that run from Ford. Just 1 to gain for a first down. They're just inside the 10-yard line now. Ford remains in the backfield, play action, quick throw over the middle, touchdown Framingham. Manny Exelholm with his 5th catch of the season and his first touchdown.
2nd down and 1. They go play action thinking that Fitchburg will sell out for the run. As we see here, there was no other option there. He was going to Manny Exelholm. Exelholm had the man coverage on him, that quick slant route so hard to cover for a man-on-man defender. Exelholm got the free step, made the catch, and got into the end zone for the touchdown.
Daniels Latham try to kick the extra point here. Ball is up, and it is good. 5:51 to go, first quarter. Framingham State leads 7-0.
And Dan, Framingham State's offense looks like the only thing capable of stopping them is themselves, at least through 2 possessions here.
That's what we've seen. That one botched play was really the big negative for Framingham. Turned the ball over when it looked like they were going to score, and ultimately, when the Falcons give them the ball right back, they make no mistake this time. Wojcinski, by the way, a perfect 4 for 4 for 64 yards on this contest. Devon Ford 6 for 28 in the early going.
Is that good? That sounds good.
Framingham's got the momentum, the run of play going for them right now through 2 possessions on each side, and Connor Fitzsimons 2 for 4 for 20 yards. Stephen Lawton's got 2 for -5.
The Falcon offense, they had the one play to Josh Nelson, that catch and run. That was really a lot of Nelson doing the work by himself after he had made the catch, and then unfortunately lost the handle, turned the ball over. Might see a little bit more of Nelson in the passing game for Fitchburg.
So interesting how Nelson started the season with no the senior with no career completions, and he's basically the number 2 receiver this season for the Falcons. On the kickoff, Nelson's got it this time. He's going to bring it to about the 30-yard line. So we'll see what the Falcons can do on their 3rd possession of the contest.
First and 10 from their own 29.
Pretty good wedge up the middle for the Falcons, and then Framingham State just converges, brings him down. Oh, that's nice. The Falcon special footballs. Properly inflated, of course.
Of course.
We're on the up and up here.
On first down for the Falcons, it'll be a handoff to Lawton, tries to run up the middle, but not much going there. A gain of about a yard.
Gain of 1.
think it was Jack Sullivan and Josh Smiley who made the tackle on that one. So Fitchburg State going back to that run up the middle on first down. Doesn't really look like it's doing much for them.
Not finding a whole lot of effectiveness with the run game as it goes thus far. It seems like whoever's not the primary option for the Falcons tends to be the best running back. That's just been their luck in the backfield this season. 2 receivers to the left now. Sims going over in motion. Fitzsimons wants to throw over in that direction. That one is caught by Nelson. Tries to cut to the middle of the field, couldn't duck out of that one. And he's down at the 34-yard line. We'll give him to the 35 on forward progress, but it'll still bring up a 3rd and 4.
Fitzsimons is looking left all the way. You see he pumps, he wants to force it in there. Finally finds Nelson. Makes the catch. He was actually a couple more yards downfield, but he went backwards trying to get around the Ram defender. Wound up being brought down right at the 35-yard line. Fitchburg State with an opportunity to pick up their first 3rd down of the day.
Falcons have 3 receivers out to the left side, and Jesse Brown on the right. Looks left. That one rejected.
The timing pass is incomplete, knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Facundo Isis, I believe, got his hands up there.
That was Facundo Isis. Fans who have watched Fitchburg High School football over the years will remember the name Facundo Isis. He was a standout both sides of the ball for the Raiders. Now he's one of the D linemen here for Framingham State. Swats down that pass, and Fitchburg State will kick it away again.
Haskins looking to punt this one away. Nicely struck. Taken in by Curran. Trying to duck out of several tackles. Ultimately, Muki Ashima is able to pull him down at the 35-yard line.
Cully Curran, when he has the ball in his hands, is always looking to do something a little bit more than you would expect. Whether it's on the punt return there, where he refused to go out of bounds and had to be dragged down by 3 different guys. He was also, of course, the guy who picked up the fumble and then tossed it to one of his teammates. A couple of times here, you think he might just go out of bounds. Even right there, he's fighting for yardage. He doesn't get it too often. He plays defense, but when he does, he knows what to do with it.
4:03 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Framingham, and looking for more. On first down out of the pistol, Wojcinski's going to try to run with it himself. First time we've seen him run with it today. Ball is loose again. I think Framingham might have it this time, but it's a toss-up for the ball.
Fitchburg is saying they have it. They are, of course, biased, but a Falcon comes out with the football. Dan, I think that was an option play. Wojcinski had an option coming to his right, running with him. And we'll take a look at it again here. See, he's running to his right, he's got Ford, he decides to keep it himself, but then right there, he wants to get rid of it, but he makes the decision too late. A.J. Cadell hits him, and then it is fallen on by Muki Ashima. So for the 2nd time today, Framingham State has handed Fitchburg the football. This time, it's inside Ram territory at the 38-yard line.
Wojcinski is basically the number 2 running option on this Rams team this year. He had 28 carries coming into today. On first down, Lawton drives up the middle, gets about 3, now to the Rams 35.
Fitchburg State, Dan, came into this game as heavy underdogs against Framingham. Falcons having been outscored 202 to 31 on the season and taking on a team that's put on 87 points in their last 2 games. But if there's going to be a stunner today, if the Falcons are going to pull off this upset, a lot of the times when that happens, it's because the heavily favored team can't hang on to the football. We've already seen Framingham State throw away what should have been a touchdown drive and now give the Falcons the ball deep in their own territory.
Whistles kill this play.
Play clock was running out. Falcons wound up taking timeout.
Fitchburg State, first charge, timeout.
So there you go with 3:08 to go in the first. First timeout called by the Falcons, trailing 7-0, but threatening for the first time today.
Fitchburg State University baseball team.
Gives us a chance to plug our next football telecast. Obviously still plenty of time to hear in this one, but for folks who want to set their calendars, Friday, October the 18th, we'll be back at Crocker Field. The Red Raiders will be hosting North Middlesex. Fitchburg will be favored in that game after a very impressive 7-0 victory last night that I had the opportunity to call with Dave Clark and Mike Flynn. Our next Falcon telecast will be 2 weeks from today, Saturday, October the 26th. It'll be the Falcons taking on Westfield State. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff here at Elliott Field.
Westfield comes into today with a record of 0-5, one of 2 winless teams in the MASCAC. That could be a very winnable game for Fitchburg.
It is an absolutely beautiful fall day. It's been a fantastic weekend for football here in Fitchburg. Both games brought to you live here on FATV.
2nd and 7, Ridenour in motion to the left side. Makes it 3 receivers there. Play action to Lawton, rolling out to the right is Fitzsimons. He'll throw, and Ridenour able to corral that one. Juggled it for a moment, but was able to come up with it. Did he not?
He did not.
I thought he did. But sometimes you get distracted by the players in front of you.
Saw that play develop all the way on our live shot. Fitzsimons was looking for Ridenour all the way. Pass was actually deflected by Cully Curran. Ridenour went full extension trying to bring it in, but was unable to do so. Now 3rd down and 7 for Fitchburg. They need to get to the 28 of the Rams for a 1st down.
Falcons will stack 3 receivers to the right this time. Brown the lone to the left. He's looking to the left. Wants Jesse Brown. Gonna get Jesse Brown. Gonna get a 1st down if that's not pulled in play.
Dwayne Hunter Parker basically stripped the ball away from Jesse Brown. It went straight up into the air. Hunter Parker pulled it in. I think Jesse Brown is hurt. There is a Falcon player down on the far sideline.
It is him.
We'll take a look at this one again. Brown is going up the far sideline. Right there, the ball is stripped away from him. It goes straight up in the air. Hunter Parker picks it up.
I feel like at some point Jesse Brown stepped out of bounds before he lost the football, and Hunter Parker definitely went out of bounds and came back in to pull that in as well.
We're going to take a look at this one again as they tend to Jesse Brown. Watch Jesse Brown's feet here. So his right foot is still in bounds there. His left foot, that's very close. Both of his feet there may have been out of bounds. It's really tough to tell.
I think his feet were out of bounds at that moment, and that was before the football came out.
Both of those were definitely before the ball came out. There was one more step where he was definitely out, but the ball was already coming loose. But now
we're thinking maybe Dwayne Hunter Parker might have been out of bounds too when he pulled the ball in, but ultimately, it's very, very close.
Take a look one more time at the end of this play here. Hunter Parker, I think he was out of bounds when he touched that ball. By the time he has possession of it, he's back in bounds. The whole play is happening right at the sideline. It's very tough to tell. Obviously, here in D3, there's no replay review. And our bigger concern, irrespective of the football game or the turnover, is the injury to Jesse Brown. You can see him on the right side of your screen there being slowly taken off the field. We'll keep an eye on him, but obviously that does not look good for the senior receiver who has been one of the key parts of the Falcon passing offense this season.
He's essentially been the go-to receiver for the Falcons, the leading receiver for this team, with 22 catches coming into today. It would be a massive loss for an already hurting offense for Fitchburg State.
So Fitchburg State with their 2nd turnover of the game. Framingham State once again not punished for their mistake. They get the ball back at their own 25.
Wojcinski looking around in the pocket, now scrambling to the right. Going to get some good yardage here, all things considered. And a flag's going to come out for what surely should be a late hit.
It's a tough call. I understand that Wojcinski fell down well after he stepped out of bounds, but he was being wrapped up as he stepped out. There was really nothing the Falcon defender could do. officials are discussing it now. To the naked eye, that seemed like it shouldn't have been penalized. We'll get the call.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 33. 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
So it's Royale Richards. You see him here. So the quarterback's out of bounds right there. Richards is already wrapped around him. What do you expect Royale Richards to do there, Dan? Am I seeing it wrong?
It does make things rather challenging. It does look like Wojcinski's out of bounds once he has fully wrapped him up, but it's hard to ask someone to stop their momentum quite like that. But in the end, the Rams get the ball at midfield. It's going to be Ford on the right side. Get about half the yards he needs there.
So with the 15-yard penalty and that 5-yard run, the Rams will find themselves at the Falcon 45. Honestly, Dan, they should have more than 7 points on the board right now.
They should, but the way the breaks have gone for the Falcons the last few plays, I don't have an answer to. I don't have a concluding statement to that. So 2nd and 5 from the Falcon 45. Pitch out to Ford on the right side, trying to get to the flank again. He's going to get there. Might have stepped out of bounds before he dove forward. There's also a flag.
There is a flag down.
Holding, offense number 74. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Tevin Cadet is the guilty party there on a hold.
We'll see if we can spot him here. He's number 74, Cadet. Right there at the top of the screen. See, he pushes a man down, but, I mean, that's good blocking. There may have been action before that we didn't see. But it is a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. So now it's 2nd down and 15 for Framingham State. They continue to be the biggest force in their own way.
In Framingham, they are the most penalized team in the MASCAC as well, and one of the 30 most penalized teams in all of Division III football. As Wojcinski looking to his right, going to try to scramble. Now he'll throw. That's tipped up in the air and incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete.
Bring up a long 3rd down there as Wojcinski trying to improvise, make something out of it. Gets a throw off, but tipped up and a bit dangerous.
Good awareness in the pocket here by Wojcinski. He steps up as though he's going to run, but he knows he's still behind the line of scrimmage. He's looking for his tight end, Jacob Marr. Pass was just a little bit high and well defended. So now Fitchburg State has a chance to force a stop that doesn't involve a turnover for once. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
Move a man in motion to the right side, make it 2 receivers on either side on 3rd down. Pump fake. Wojcinski still looking, scrams to right, throws low, it's caught. Ford's going to pick that one up. He's going to keep on going for a 1st down before he's finally pushed out of bounds.
There is a flag down.
There is a flag on this play as well. So we'll see what this is going to turn into.
The flag is all the way back near the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense number 71. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So 71 is Devontae Offit. Couldn't see it there.
When a play goes on for that long, the odds of a hold happening increase. It's going to bring up 3rd and 25.
Framingham State backed up at their 35-yard line. They need to get all the way to the Falcon 40 for a fresh set of downs.
Well, if they can do what they did without committing a penalty, then they'll surely do that.
Rams 3rd and long.
Just 5 seconds left on the play clock. Framingham State has to get this play off.
They will get it off. Wojcinski throws over the middle, incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete.
A rush throw, overthrown, nobody there.
I think he was looking for Marr, but the pass was so high. By the time it came down, Joel Montero, one of the Falcon DBs, was the closest man to it.
Now, Wojcinski is also Framingham's punter. I don't think he's got a fake punt play here on 4th and 25, though.
I would assume not.
They have Marr right next to him, don't they?
They do.
It's a very interesting setup there. Zack Garrison will pull this one in at the 28, run to the left side, try to hold on to the football. He cannot hold on to the football.
I think he fell on it, though. Recovers his own fumble. Yes, he does.
Garrison with the punt return.
Dan, this has been a sloppy quarter of football. Framingham State can't get out of their own way. They're basically handing the Falcons the game on a silver platter, and all the same, Fitchburg is saying, oh, no, I couldn't possibly. No, I refuse. You have it, please.
Trying to fight off that defender for more yards, and ball ends up popping loose. It's the third time that we've seen a ball come out of the hands of the Falcons today, but this time they recovered their own fumble. 30 seconds to go in this first quarter in what's been a very unusual game. Lawton will take the handoff, try to find some space on the left side, but again, not a whole lot going there for the Falcons. About 3 yards gained on first down. What may very well be the last play of this first quarter.
It's Fitchburg State's bread and butter. Easy for me to say that. Run up the middle on first down hasn't been successful thus far. That will take us to the end of the first quarter here at Elliott Field. Gives us a chance to thank our football underwriters for this season. IC Credit Union, 300 Bemis Road in Fitchburg. North End Subaru, 757 Chase Road, Lunenburg. Fitchburg State University, 160 Pearl Street in Fitchburg. The Red Apple Farm, 455 Highland Avenue in Phillipston. We also have Neshoba Valley Medical Center, 200 Groton Road in Air, Romano's Market, 138 Harvard Street, Fitchburg, and of course Grand Rental Station, 88 Massachusetts Avenue in Lunenburg. Thanks to them for underwriting all of our football telecasts here on FATV.
So through one quarter of play, Wojcinski's, he was 4 for 4 at one point. He's 4 for 6 now. Connor Fitzsimon's 4 for 8. And as we've saw...
One thing I noticed looking at the stats here, Steve Lawton, 5 carries, 3 yards. That does not seem good.
It does not. The Falcons have had 2 instances where they could have had a first down if they hadn't fumbled the ball away trying to get more yardage. They officially have no first downs in this contest. My goodness, it's been a very, very interesting game, and it's probably going to get all the more interesting as John Gugerty has the second quarter.
Thank you very much, Dan. 2nd down and 7 now for the Falcons at their own 38-yard line. Frank Sims, the 4th, goes in motion to the far side. Handoff goes to Lawton, running right. He is brought down in the backfield. I think it was Facundo Isis on top of him once again. It's a loss of about a yard.
Anthony Bohonik, I think, was also there for the Rams as well.
Take a look at this one again. Once again, they send the man in motion to the right, and then they run to the right. Nothing Lawton could do there. He was wrapped up mere moments after receiving the football. Officially a loss of 1. It will be 3rd down and 8 now. Falcons need to get out to their own 45-yard line. 3 receivers for Fitchburg State. They also have Ridenour, the tight end. Lawton is in the pistol behind Connor Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons throwing long over the middle into double coverage. It is intercepted. Isaac Nascimento with the pick into Falcon territory across the 30. Finally dragged down by Steve Lawton at about the 25-yard line after what's roughly a 30-yard return. Turnovers aplenty in this one. Now Framingham State will be set up deep in Falcon territory.
Falcons have turned the ball over more than any other team in the MASCAC. That's turnover number 17 on the interception by number 17. How fitting.
We've seen a couple of times this season when the Falcons want to throw long, Fitzsimons just kind of flicks his wrist rather than stepping up and delivering a ball with a more traditional throwing motion. That little flick, the ball floats. As a result, this time it floated right into the awaiting arms of Isaac Nascimento. Framingham State set up with excellent field position, officially at the 23-yard line. Play action fake, this time running the end around. Trying to turn the corner, spins that down at the 20-yard line. That's Anthony Lombardo with the carry.
Lombardo, the ball carrier.
It's a gain of about 3 yards on a play where he ran maybe 30.
Lombardo, we saw him get a catch earlier. And on the end around, the wide receiver by trade.
That's not a really good play fake. The quarterback held out his right hand while carrying the ball in his left. Not exactly selling that very hard, was he, Adam Wojcinski? He'll go shotgun. He's got Ford to his left. Lombardo, the man coming in motion to the right. Wojcinski back to pass, looking right, under pressure, steps up, wants to dump it off. He's going to carry it himself. He's going to go nowhere. He is dragged down from behind.
Good coverage by the Falcons. He was looking left the whole time, looking for someone to show up there. He wanted, I believe, Nunn there, but Nunn didn't look particularly open, and there wasn't really another option that he could go to, so he scrambles, and Wojcinski good on his feet, able to get a couple yards out of that, but it'll bring up a third down.
Evan Drake finally dragged him down by his jersey. Drake, one of a few Falcons to have a fumble recovery in this one. Now 3rd and 5 for Framingham. Got to think this is 4-down territory for them. Devon Ford, no, play action fake. Wojcinski keeps it himself, running right. He's across the 10 to the 5, leans forward for the goal line. He is in. Touchdown, Framingham State.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for Adam Wojcinski. That time, a little more deceiving on the play fake.
Take a look at this one. I think that's another option play. Wojcinski is reading the left defensive end for the Falcons as he crashes in on the what he thought was going to be the ball carrier Ford. Wojcinski just pulled the ball back into his chest, kept it himself, and as the result of the play, he was able to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Now the extra point attempt for Framingham State is up and good. So with 12:35 to play here in this first half, it's starting to look like a little more of a representative scoreline. Framingham State now on top 14-0.
We saw a couple well-executed plays by the Rams, well, mainly the Wojcinski run at the very end.
Finally, Dan, somebody capitalizes on one of these turnovers. Fitchburg State giving Framingham the ball deep in their own territory. We saw Framingham do that once. The Falcons were unable to capitalize. That actually resulted in another turnover. This time Framingham finally keeps out of their own way long enough to get into the end zone.
Ultimately, 5 turnovers in this contest between the two squads. We still have a lot more football to play.
Back deep to return for the Falcons, Mizigillo Oquendo and Josh Nelson.
Wait for them to kick it away for the Rams.
It's a 5 to the end side, and then it's a 1 and then a 3 and then a 5. No, it's a 3, it's a 1 and a 5. The end is a 5.
High, short kick, taken in by Nelson at about the 17-yard line. Spins forward across the 35, fighting for more yardage.
Joshua Nelson with the
It's brought down pretty much right at the 35-yard line.
Still a fairly solid return. Nelson averages about 16 a return. He got 18 on that one. Falcons with solid field position to start this drive.
1st and 10 from their own 35.
See Framingham State, as they get in, they're always scratching, clawing, trying to pull that ball out. We've seen plenty of fumbles on both sides of the ball today. Falcon offense will come back out 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Steve Lawton still the tailback. Falcons will go from the pistol. Now Fitzsimons sends a man in motion. That's Jillo Oquendo. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Steve Lawton breaks through the line but is dragged down. It's a gain of about 5, which makes it one of the better runs of the day for the Falcon offense.
If he hadn't been wrapped up by Anthony Bohonik there at the very end,
Bohonik with the Framingham State.
might have been able to see Lawton break away. Last week he had a 33-yard run, which is actually the longest run a Falcons had this season. So he's got the ability to break free.
Gave him 4 on that one. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Falcons in the 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. That back Lawton has the carry. Up the right side, going to be just shy, I believe, of the line to gain. Has to get right to the 45. Some pretty good blocking by the offensive line there, Dan.
31.
Indeed. Ultimately, Carlos Alphonse able to get there to make the tackle. Only about half a yard to gain. The stick is right at the 45-yard line.
Joe Oquendo heads to the sideline for the Falcons. Frank Sims, the 4th, will check in as a second tight end.
Would you consider doing a quarterback sneak here for half a yard?
If it was fourth down, yes, but not on third. Hey, look, a quarterback sneak for half a yard. See, that's why I'm not a football coach, Dan.
Gain's about a yard, and that'll be good enough for a Fitchburg.
I felt like with only 18 inches to gain, I thought it might be worth it at that spot.
No, you're absolutely right.
Glad when things work out.
Yeah.
Falcons 1st and 10.
So nice simple play call. We see this all sorts of times. I think if we had seen it last night, Algonquin would have gotten themselves a touchdown, but, you know, I'm not a football coach after all. The Falcons have a first down.
His first carry of the day. Gets the Falcons their first down of the game, officially.
Ball spotted just outside the 45. Fitchburg State will go from the pistol, and Lawton will get the first down carry. Good blocking once again. He's into the second level, into Ram territory. Stop the clock, move the chains. It's a gain of 12 and another Fitchburg first down.
Back-to-back firsts for the green and gold. And Lawton continued to make his way downfield.
For the first time today, Dan, the Falcon offense is rolling. 1st and 10 now at the 42-yard line. Keep feeding the ball to Steve Lawton. He runs up the right side. He's across the 40-yard line. Not much further than that. Gain of maybe 2. We'll take a look at this one again.
Curran and Sullivan combining for the Framingham hit.
Lawton continuing to push on. Tries to form the ball there, but ultimately too much manpower for Framingham, pushes him back.
Jack Sullivan, one of the men leading the assault for the Ram defense.
Going all on the ground on this drive for the green and gold.
Well, if it keeps working, keep doing it. Although on 2nd down and 8, an argument could be made that it has now stopped working. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers for Fitchburg State. Lawton remains the man in the backfield as he has been all day. Play action fake. Fitzsimon's rolling left, throwing left. Ridenour's there, and he dropped it. Drew Ridenour had 2 steps on every defender around him. The pass was a little bit high. I think it was a catchable ball. Ridenour is kicking himself after that one.
Ridenour probably feels like he should have 2 receptions on this day, but both times that the ball's come to him, he hasn't been able to quite pull it in. Just had to reach up high to grab that one and had trouble keeping his hands closed on the ball as he brought it down towards his body.
That is a little bit high, but that's a catch that has to be made. Ridenour would have had the first down with space to run in front of him. Instead, it is now 3rd down and 8. Falcons need to get to the 32.
Play clock was running, and they're going to kill their second time out here.
Timeout, Fitchburg State. Second charge, timeout.
1 timeout left for Fitchburg State. You can see there Framingham State with their full complement of 3. 9:21 to play here in the first half of action. And I suppose it is worth mentioning that the Rams will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. So for Fitchburg State, if they want to hang in here, keep thoughts of the upset alive, they really need to start coming away with points.
It looks like this has been one of their more successful drives in terms of carrying the momentum. Noticing now with Jesse Brown being hurt, the Falcons being forced to use both their tight ends, basically, and Frank Sims, the 4th, and Drew Ridenour on these plays. It also might help create a little more in terms of blocking lanes, so that could have also been helping in regards to the lanes being created, Lawton actually getting some ground on these runs.
Worth mentioning, Jesse Brown is up and around. He's moving pretty gingerly on the near sideline, has his helmet off. I would be very surprised if we see him again in this game, but he is at least up and walking around, so that's a good sign. Now 3rd down and 8, they go play fake again. This pass is high and it is incomplete. Very nearly intercepted. Dwayne Hunter Parker was there. I think that was pretty much the same exact play that the Falcons ran on 2nd down, looking to hit Ridenour. They do play action and Fitzsimon's rolls to his left.
Immediately under pressure, you could see Josh Smiley read that pretty well. It was going to be a challenge there. Nelson ended up being the intended receiver, but
I think he was trying to hit Sims the 4th. Pass was just overthrown beyond him. Now Joe Haskins will kick it away. Low spiraling effort. Bounces at about the 10 and goes out of bounds. Joe Haskins has been a bright spot on special teams for Fitchburg State. They're going to mark that one out at the 15-yard line. So Framingham State will be pinned back fairly deep in their own territory, 85 yards away from Pater.
Haskins has proven himself to be fairly good at the coffin corner punt. That time probably not exactly the one he wanted on that one, but still, you got him inside the 20.
It's better than a touchback. It's better than a shank.
Absolutely, absolutely. And 9:08 to go in the second, 14-0 Framingham in front. It's probably the deepest they've had to start today.
Danny Marinaccio in the backfield for Framingham State, and Marinaccio will get the carry on first down. First touch of the day for him. He gets across the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, and that's about all that can be said for that one.
The Rams only have 3 players on their roster who are actually listed as running backs, and Marinaccio only had 4 carries coming today, the freshman from Wakefield.
Gets a carry there for a yard. It'll be second down and 9. Marinaccio will stay in the backfield. Adam Wojcinski, the quarterback, will pitch to him running left this time. This time he's swallowed up. Again, he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that is it.
Also a flag on this play.
Flag down as well.
It's thrown by the umpire.
Usually a hold in that case. Take a look at this one again, see if we can spot the foul before it gets called. I didn't see anything there, Dan.
I didn't see anything either except for the umpire throwing the flag.
Personal foul, chop block. Offense, number 60 and number 50. High-low block. Half the distance to the goal, second down.
So it's a high-low block called on the Rams. Jack Canny and Brian Callery. We'll take a look at this. It'll be 2 men double-teaming 1 Falcon defender. I think maybe right there. It's on 60 and 50. Tough to tell.
In any case, the umpire had the best view of all of that.
Yep. So with the yardage from the foul, it'll now be second down and 17 for Framingham State. They continue to march backwards on this drive. Wojcinski from the shotgun, looking to throw long to the left, wide open, passes there, but it goes right through his hands. He was trying to hit Jacob Marr. Marr had a step, maybe 2, on the closest Falcon defender. To my eye, Dan, this looked like a catchable ball.
I thought the whole way Jacob Marr was going to pull that one in. Considering he had a 97-yard completion last week, just wasn't able to close his hands on it quickly enough.
He had gotten away from Malik Crowford, and there was nothing but green grass separating, well, green field turf separating him from the end zone. Ball went right through his hands, now third down and 17. Wojcinski back to pass, under pressure, steps up, chucks it long. It's a high floater, wide open, but it is so terribly underthrown. He was trying to find Will Jean. Closest man to it was Zack Garrison. Little 7-on-7 crime in the backfield there. It will be fourth down.
Zack Garrison started this season as a wide receiver, but due to injuries, he's been pressed to play as a corner. And that time,
I think maybe a Falcon defender got a hand on the ball as Wojcinski released it.
Possibly. Wojcinski will stay in as the punter. But again, can't expect much of a fake on 17 to go.
Pretty good punt, bounces at the 45. Takes a sideways hop and it'll die just inside Falcon territory. They'll take over at their own 49, still with half a quarter to play. 7:47 left in the first half here at Elliott Field. Falcons trailing Framingham State 14-0.
You could see Nelson thinking about trying to play it on the hop, but when it took that strange hop to the side, couldn't take that chance at that point.
Josh Nelson may have been watching the game last night, saw a punt returned on a hop, returned for a touchdown, the only points in the Red Raider victory over Algonquin. First and 10 Falcons at the 49. Drew Riddenauer goes in motion. He'll set up as a fullback, and Steve Lawton gets the carry. Breaks out of an initial hit, but maybe gains a yard. Finally brought down by Anthony Bohonic.
See, not much going there. Tries to turn, go parallel to the 50, but couldn't break out of Bohonic's grasp. Just 1 yard there for Lawton on that carry.
Second down and 9. Nose of the football just touching the midfield stripe. Falcons will go with 3 receivers. Those being Nelson, Gubai Pyers, and Jillo Oquendo. It's a handoff straight up the middle for Lawton. Gets into Ram territory, gain of maybe 3, 4, 3.
3. Goes from the nose of the ball, touching the 50-yard line, to the nose of the ball, just touching the 47-yard hash mark.
RJ Fiali with the tackle. It is now 3rd and 6 for Fitchburg State. Saw them cycle through a lot of running backs in the first couple of games here at Elliott Field, but it has been exclusively Lawton here today. Now Fitzsimon's throw to the near side is caught. Brought down a few yards shy of the line to gain. It was Mizzy-Jillo Oquendo with the catch. They're going to mark him down at the 44-yard line. Take a look at this one again. They try to hit him almost with a pick play, like they wanted Nelson to set the block a little earlier than he did. But Jillo Oquendo is brought down 3 yards shy of the line to gain. Fitchburg State is going to kick it away here, which is a decision that they can make, I suppose. Haskins under pressure. That ball nearly blocked. Catch is made at the 17 and then immediately leveled. Cully Curran was brought down immediately, and I think the man who made the tackle is going to come up worse for wear. It's Robert Jackson who made the hit. See him flying in here right there. Made hard contact, and then as he gets up, you see him immediately grabbing at the right shoulder, maybe the right collarbone. You see him there still very heavily favoring that right arm. So hopefully he will be okay.
Jackson's done most of his work today as a gunner. He's also listed as the reserve running back, although we haven't seen him in the backfield today.
We have seen him get a few carries on the year, but thus far today, once again, it has been exclusively Steve Lawton. So Framingham State takes back over, 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line. Wojcinski keeps it himself. Runs maybe back to the line of scrimmage, not much doing there.
Not much movement for the box man as he flips the card over to 2.
I think that was that option play again, that same play they ran for the touchdown, and once again Wojcinski chose to keep it himself. This time he didn't get anything on it. Officially no gain, and it will be 2nd down and 10. Getting back to that play call, Dan, I would have gone for it. 4th and 3 at the opponent 44. You're a heavy underdog down by 2 touchdowns. Live a little.
I was feeling like it was probably a good idea to go for it too, but I think they may have trusted Haskins a little more to try to pin the Rams deep. Maybe hope their defense can step up with the Rams pinned inside their own 20, and then hopefully maybe get the ball back in slightly better position with a fresh set of downs.
Well, we'll see.
But still, going forward on that one, it's like 14-0, you're 1 and 4. There's not a whole lot of risk there, but then again, as faithful FATV viewers know, both me and Googs are a bit aggressive in our play calling.
We are gamblers at heart, yes. 3rd down and 4 coming up after the 2nd down carry got about 5. Wojcinski looks to throw, throws over the middle, pass is caught. That's going to be a 1st down for Framingham State. Austin Nunn with the catch.
Solid throw over the middle from Wojcinski.
Feels the pocket crashing down on him, gets off a nice tight spiral. That is a fantastic shot. My goodness, that shot. Back to live action here. Devon Ford with the carry, cuts upfield. He's across the 45, close to midfield. They're going to give him the midfield stripe. It's a gain of 9. And Framingham State deciding to push the pace here. 2nd down and 1 from midfield. Ford gets the carry, the
Direct snap.
Direct snap, yes. Keeps it himself, cuts upfield. He's got a first down into Falcon territory, finally spun out of bounds after a gain of about 5.
Well, that was very interesting.
Framingham State once again hurrying up to the line. 3:45 to play here. Rams deciding to push the pace. They want to get into the end zone. They still have all 3 of their timeouts. Ford gets the carry. No, it's a double pitch, flea flicker. Wojcinski throws for Ford on the far side. He makes the catch, but is then plowed down immediately.
It's Joe Montero with the hit on Devon Ford, 22 on 22 there. Boy, you expect a play like that when it's complete to go for a lot more than 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah. So they hand it off to Ford. He pitches to the receiver coming back, and then it's a flea flicker back to Wojcinski. He looks upfield, sees nothing there. And then Ford coming out of the backfield is able to pick up 6. Falcon defense got to be thankful that they was only 6 there. Still now 2nd down and 4. Wojcinski back to pass, looking long, throwing long, wide open. This pass is dropped. It was intended for Jacob Marr, who once again had 2 steps on his defender and once again could not bring the ball in.
And part of the reason why the Rams only have 14 points is that it's a uncharacteristically rough game for Jacob Marr. Only 1 completion and now 2 balls he feels like he probably should have had for a touchdown. But instead,
final charge, timeout.
Nothing there on that one, just wasn't able to haul it in.
We saw one pass go through his arms earlier. This one actually hit him in the hands. He was unable to bring it in. Now Fitchburg State has taken their final timeout. Framingham State really pushing the pace on offense on this drive. Falcons taking that one even after the incomplete pass just to get a chance to catch their breath.
In the hopes that if they can get a stop here on 3rd down, maybe they can get the ball back with a decent amount of time.
Currently up 3-1.
2:49 to go in the first half, 14-0. Go around the MASCAC quickly here. Bridgewater beat Worcester State last night 21-9. That's 3 straight wins for the Bears. They're now at 500. Plymouth State is at Westfield State. That game in progress right now. And later today, undefeated Mass Maritime, a surprise there, but they're going to be taking on a undefeated WestCon team. That's going to be a very interesting battle down in Danbury. That'll be a 5 o'clock start. UMass Dartmouth, after losing to Framingham last week, has the week off. And trying to see if I can find a score for that football game. It's Westfield, so they have a different live stat thing there.
Of course they do.
21-6 Plymouth.
3rd and 4.
But here at Elliott Field, it is 14-0 Framingham. Rams with the ball, 3rd down and 4 at the Falcon 40-yard line. 2:49 to play here in the first half. Framingham State with all 3 of their timeouts. Fullback dive straight up the middle, catches everybody by surprise. You don't expect to pick up 5 yards most of the time when you run a fullback dive, but they did that time. Stop the clock, move the chains.
I think they're actually going to do a measurement because they marked him short.
What?
It was Jacob Marr, who, again, that tight end, lined up as the fullback this time.
They spotted him a good yard short of where I thought. They are going to bring in the chains. I actually think he's going to be just a little bit short.
So we'll see the chain crew get to do their job here. And let's see what we got.
Well, he is well short. A good foot and a half. So now, Dan, do you remember on the Falcons' last drive where I said if it was 4th and that long, I would absolutely run a quarterback sneak?
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely run a quarterback sneak here.
I would absolutely run a quarterback sneak as well. I know I was thinking on this, and with the yardage where it is, you absolutely go for it, in my opinion. Especially if you're up 14-0. You want to try to get a little more of a lead here.
Up 14-0, I mean, by all rights, Framingham State would not be wrong to feel like they should have twice as many points as they do. They are going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Their offense is on the field.
And considering Wojcinski's going under center. Doesn't look like he's going to pooch punt it.
I would think not. I think he's going straight up the gut here. Marr comes in motion, sets up as a fullback. They will play fake. Wojcinski wants to throw. He's got Marr. That's a first down and more. Jacob Marr breaks one tackle and is pushed out of bounds. So they don't go with the quarterback sneak. They go play action. But Wojcinski is able to hit Jacob Marr for the first down.
Interesting designs. But ultimately, Marr is left wide open on the left flank. And you can see him breaking out of a tackle there to get that extra yardage.
Once again, Dan, that empty-handed play-action fake. Just put the ball in your hand. Now Marr gets the carry out of that fullback position on first down. He plunges forward very close to the first down. Take a look at this one again.
It's very interesting how they've been using Marr today. With a lot of this ground game. He had 8 carries coming into today for 29 yards, although 2 scores. And most of those came on a 23-yard carry as well. So he's not been gaining a whole lot of yardage when he does that, except for the one time that it worked really well.
Now 2nd down and 1. I formation for the Rams. Twin receivers to the near side. Marr gets the carry once again. He is hit immediately. It's going to be brought down in the backfield. Framingham State is content to take up all the time they can here. The Rams have all 3 of their timeouts, but they are going to keep letting this clock run. We'll probably duck under a minute before we get another snap.
On a 2nd and short situation, trying to go with what seems like a play that'll get him a couple of yards, but Marr not able to get much farther than the line of scrimmage.
Now 3rd down and 1. Back to that I formation, this time Ford the carry, and Ford is swallowed up very close to the line he needed. Got close to it. The officials will stop the clock, either to move the chains or to measure.
Feel like it's going to be another measurement where they are. You can see the
referee is signaling first down, so they will move the chains. Ball is just outside the 10-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10.
And now Framingham will call their first timeout here with 47 seconds left in the half.
Framingham State, first charge, timeout.
This is a tough situation for the Falcon defense. There's 47 seconds left, but Framingham State has 2 timeouts, so they can absolutely run anything they want here. There's no mandate that says they have to throw the ball.
It'll be a great test for the Falcon defense here, trying to make a big red zone stand. Interestingly enough, the Falcons have been pretty decent at red zone defense. 64.7% of possessions for the opposition in the red zone have resulted in a score. So obviously, in this case, lower is better. If you want to invert that, the Falcons have stopped 35.3% of opportunities.
Seems good.
Compared to last year, where they only had 3 red zone stops the entire year and were worst in the nation.
Well, they're better than last year.
They are better than last year. They've improved in that department. And this would be a great test for them there. If they can get a stop, if they could even hold the Rams to a field goal, of which they haven't even attempted one this season.
It would be another missed opportunity for Framingham State if they don't get 6 points on this drive.
Although the Falcons did lose 42-0 to Plymouth last week, it was 14-0 at halftime. They held it close for a little while.
Rams, 1st and 10.
1st and 10, Rams at the 12-yard line. They will go shotgun with Devon Ford to the left of Adam Wojcinski. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Play action. Wojcinski looking to the end zone. He's got Marr. Pass is thrown. It is incomplete. There is a flag down. Came out after the pass.
Holding, offense number 72. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Tegan Andre, number 72, is the guilty party. You can see him right there. He's got a handful of jersey. You can't do that. And my holding penalty with Andre results in a 10-yard loss, and it'll be 1st and 20 now for the Rams. Takes 7 seconds off the clock, but much more importantly, brings them outside of field goal range, one would assume.
The Rams' 4th penalty of the game.
1st and long.
They've lost 38 yards now in penalties.
Wojcinski back to pass on 1st and 20. Looking right, just dumps it off for Ford. Ford makes the catch. He is brought down inbounds. Clock continues to run, 30 seconds left. Framingham State has 2 timeouts left, and for the love of me, I cannot figure out why they're not calling one of them. Clock ducking under 20 seconds now, 15 to play here.
2nd and 15.
Framingham State will just let it ride. 10 seconds left as Wojcinski takes the snap. He is under pressure. Rolling to his right, he throws for the end zone. That pass is incomplete. Dan, what?
This was not the best idea for Framingham. They clearly felt like maybe there was a weakness, something that they could exploit in the Falcon defense. But to take that long to set up and then Wojcinski rolling to the right, even at this point I'm thinking there's no way they score on this. And credit to even getting a pass there to Manny Exelholm.
It runs off. The previous play was blown dead with, what, 30 seconds left?
A little over 30 seconds left.
But now with just 3 seconds left, the down is irrelevant. Framingham State needs 18 yards for the touchdown. Wojcinski looks right, he throws right, passes tipped, falls incomplete. And if you are a Fitchburg State fan, this is the most beautiful sentence you will ever hear. We will go to the locker rooms with the score only 14-0 in favor of Framingham State. My goodness.
As we've said, Framingham at times seemed to be their own worst enemy, and that was some pretty bad clock management.
Framingham State shooting themselves in the foot in so many ways here in this first half, with turnovers, with penalties, with failures of clock management there at the end of the half. The Rams, yes, they go in with the lead. They get the ball to start the third quarter. They're still heavy favorites. They're probably going to win this game, but they cannot be happy to only have 14 points.
You think with all the drops, all the turnovers, what we just saw in one of the worst 2-minute drills that you'll see, you think Framingham should have 28-35. They should have a lot more than they have now. But they have 14. The Falcons stepped up where they needed to and let Framingham do the rest for them.
And for the Falcons, we mentioned it once, we'll mention it again. These big upsets happen because of missed opportunities. Don't go anywhere, fans. We're going to take the break for halftime, but we will be right back here in 20 minutes. It's College Football Saturday here on FATV. But of course, we want to thank our football underwriters who help bring this and every football game this season on FATV to you at home.
Thank you, John. IC Credit Union at 300 Bemis Road in Fitchburg, North End Subaru at 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg, Romano's Market at 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg, Grand Rental Station at 88 Mass Ave in Lunenburg, the Neshoba Valley Medical Center at 200 Groton Road in Ayer, Mass, Red Apple Farm 455 Highland Avenue in Phillipston, and Fitchburg State University at 160 Pearl Street in Fitchburg. We thank them for helping make all of our remote productions possible.
Absolutely. We also had some exciting action here in the first half. Framingham State leading this one by a score of 14-0. And really, Dan, it should be more than that. But the story of the first half has been turnovers. Framingham State on their first possession thought for a moment this was going to be a scoop and score the other way. The Falcons did fall on it. Then on their ensuing possession, Josh Nelson with the big catch and run. He coughs it up. This pass almost turned into a touchdown the other way for Framingham State. See the lateral there. Nothing came of that drive. Framingham State did score once. You see that there. That's their first touchdown of the game. But then on this little option play here, trying to get rid of the ball, does so too late. Fitchburg State gets it with great field position, and then they turn it back over the other way. A fumble there. Later in the half, Connor Fitzsimons throwing the interception with the return there, set the Rams up deep into Falcon territory. Framingham State would go on to capitalize from there for their second touchdown of the game. So Framingham State, Dan, when they're not shooting themselves in the foot, which is a heck of a disclaimer, has really controlled the flow of play here in this one, leading 14-0, but it should be a lot more than that.
That's what we felt going into halftime. terms of total yards, 185 for the Rams, just 63 for the Falcons. The Rams 4 of 9 on third down. The Falcons just 1 of 8. Adam Wojcinski 8 for 15 for 106 yards and a touchdown, a far cry from his 422 yards last week. Devon Ford 11 carries for 54 yards. Jacob Marr 4 for 12 on the ground, 2 for 46 through the air, although I know he feels like he probably should have more than that.
Jacob Marr had a couple of passes, deep throws to him late in the first half. He had one that went right through his hands. He had another one bounce off of his hands. Either of those easily could have been a touchdown. And something I've noticed, Dan, and I don't want to, cry panic or anything like that, but something I find very interesting at the end of the second quarter, and again as we get ready for the third quarter, Mohamed Mahmoud has been warming up on the sideline for the Falcons. He could just be keeping loose. He is the backup quarterback. He could just be keeping his shoulder ready to go, but there may be a change coming for the Falcons.
That would be something interesting to see. Only once this year has Connor Fitzsimon's been pulled from quarterback duty, and that was the first game of the year against Cortland, in which Joe Haskins started seeing snaps late in that contest. He didn't attempt to pass in that game.
Like I said, he might just be keeping warm. Who knows? We will not see right away. The Falcons received the opening kickoff, and they will kick it away to start here. It looks like Joe Haskins will be doing the kickoff duty. Falcons without Bubba Lynch, who has been their Swiss Army knife, really. He's been a tailback, he's been a kicker, he's been a linebacker. Today, he is not present.
And with Lynch inactive, last week Haskins inactive as well. And so the Falcons had to have wide receiver Gubai Pyrus kick off, and that went very poorly. Haskins should have a little more leg.
Gets this one away to about the 25-yard line, taken up by one of the up men for Framingham State. That is actually Jacob Marr, getting him the ball every which way they can. Marr returns this out to the Ram 38-yard line.
Marr definitely a bit of a Swiss Army knife for this Rams team today. And ends up as an up man getting the return there.
First and 10 coming up for the Rams from the 38-yard line. They are led by their quarterback, Adam Wojcinski, senior from Stratford, Connecticut. He has Devon Ford in the backfield with him. Wojcinski will throw on first down over the middle, swatted down and incomplete. Caleb Gonzalez says, "No, sir, you will not do that."
Good start for the Falcons D. They were able to hold the Rams off the board when they had a red zone possession late, although that may have been more due to the Rams
deciding they weren't going to call timeout no matter what. See right there, Gonzalez. It's what you're taught as a defensive lineman. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. He was able to swat that pass down. Now second down, Wojcinski wants it to go over the middle again. This time he hits his receiver, but the receiver cannot complete the play. Austin Nunn had that ball hit him right in the numbers. He was unable to bring it in.
Can't put any blame on Wojcinski for this one. He put it right where he wanted it. Little wobble in that one, but shouldn't have been that much in the grand scheme of things. Just Nunn unable to pull that one in.
Was right in the breadbasket. Couldn't have asked for a better ball. Unable to make the catch was Austin Nunn. So now with 2 incompletions, it brings up 3rd and 10 for the Rams of Framingham. Wojcinski looking over the middle. He's going to go long to the right side and wide open, completely uncovered, and going into the end zone for the touchdown is Will Jean. 62-yard catch and run. Will Jean coming up the near sideline. He just ran right by the man who was assigned to cover him.
Will Jean nearly quadruples his receiving numbers on the season. And you can see Zack Garrison, the converted wide receiver, was the man tasked to cover him. Ends up getting burned out on that one.
Extra point is up and good, so Framingham makes it a 3-score game just like that. 3 plays, 62 yards, and with 14:33 to play here in the third quarter, if you missed it, if you're just coming back from your halftime break, you've already missed a score. It's 21-0 in favor of Framingham.
Go for the home run pass. We saw that bite the Falcons a lot last year and occasionally this year. A couple of times last week against Plymouth. It's one of those weaknesses, and you can see it here. Will Jean just nothing in his way. The sophomore from South Boston with his first touchdown of the season.
Garrison tried to bring him down, but unable to do so before Jean got into the end zone. They had a similar play like that earlier in the first half where Jean had gotten away from Garrison. The pass was underthrown, and Garrison was able to knock it away. That time it was delivered on the money, and Will Jean went into the end zone. So Framingham State expanding the lead, making it feel a little bit more like what they probably think it should be. Now 21-0 as they kick it away. Mizzy Gillo Oquendo takes it in at about his own 13-yard line and has basically nothing successful happen from there. Jack Sullivan makes the tackle. Gillo Oquendo got out to the 25-yard line before being brought down.
Not a whole lot there for him to go in terms of location. Fitzsimons is leading the team back out again.
First and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
First and 10, Fitchburg State at their own 25-yard line. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and Steve Lawton is in the backfield. Nelson goes in motion to the far side. And Lawton gets the carry straight up the middle. The ball is loose, picked up by Framingham State. Coming up along the near sideline across the 30 to the 25, going in untouched for the touchdown. Isaac Nascimento, the scoop and score. However, there are 2 flags down on the play, so hold everything. Nascimento, the freshman from Wareham, Mass., picked it up and then went into the end zone. The entire officiating crew getting together to adjudicate this one. We'll take a look at it again while the officials confer. See there, the ball clearly comes out, picked up by Nascimento.
During the return, illegal block in the back on Framingham number 21. Framingham ball after a 10-yard penalty, first down.
So you heard the call. There was a block in the back on the return. It will take the points off the board, but it happened after the recovery of the fumble, so Framingham will still get it with excellent field position.
Lawton's second lost fumble of the season, lost one against UMass Dartmouth. But of course, as disastrous as it can be for Fitchburg to start this second half, give up a touchdown on the opening possession and then give the ball away just one play in, and it's the 4th giveaway for the Falcons today.
45 seconds gone in this third quarter. Framingham State has already scored and recovered a fumble, and they look to score again. First and 10 for them at the Falcon 28. Wojcinski back to pass, looking left. Got a couple guys there, steps up, throws for the end zone. High and incomplete. He was trying to find Austin Nunn. Ball was just a little bit beyond his reach.
Rams were looking for the immediate response there. It looked like Wojcinski had a lot of room to run on that left side if he wanted it, but ultimately decides to go for the house there.
Well covered there by Malik Crowford.
Might have been difficult to pull in bounds, too.
It'll be second down now. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Motion to the far side, fake the jet sweep, flag comes in. It's thrown by the referee. Wojcinski throws for the end zone and pass falls incomplete. Something tells me that doesn't actually matter. Flag was thrown pretty much.
Illegal shift, 2 men moving at the snap. That penalty is declined, third down.
So Framingham State had 2 men moving at the snap. They sent Kenny oh goodness. They sent Kennedy Weruwayu in motion. But there was another guy moving as well. Ultimately, the penalty was declined, so the incomplete pass counts. It'll set up 3rd down and 10.
Ultimately, the pass in actually does factor into the grand scheme of things. If it was completed, the Falcons would have accepted the penalty and took the 2nd down, but with the incompletion, they were able to take the results of the play instead and bring up a 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 from the 28. Wojcinski under pressure, escapes, rolls right, throws for the end zone. Pass hangs forever and a day before falling incomplete.
Exelholm, the intended receiver. 4th down.
Wanted Manny Exelholm, and you could see Exelholm almost doing a reverse question mark in the end zone. Cutting to one side, having to cut back the other way after the ball didn't quite come out the way that they expected.
After a while, it's just a scramble drill. Try to get open. Exelholm couldn't quite do that. Ball didn't find him. And it will now be 4th down, but Framingham State will keep their offense on the field. Of course, their quarterback is their punter, so their offense is always on the field. Wojcinski looking over the middle, passes thrown high, but it is caught. Brought down at the 13-yard line is number 13, Austin Nunn, with the catch to keep Framingham State's drive alive. Big 4th down conversion there.
Earlier in this quarter, we saw Nunn have a ball right on his numbers that he couldn't pull in. This time, no mistake, a more difficult catch that he had to try to come up and make, and he went and made it.
He was the flying Nunn on that one, leaping high in the air and making the catch, but he was able to bring it down. Now 1st and 10. Ford gets the carry, running to the right side. Good blocking in front of him, dives forward. He's close. I think they're going to mark him out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Going to give him a 1st down, but not the touchdown.
Close enough for a fresh set of downs and close enough for the chain crew to take a break.
At the Fitchburg 3.
Great initial blocking as he comes up along the right side. He's finally shouldered out of bounds by Zack Garrison. But he does have the 1st down, 1st and goal, Framingham at the 3-yard line. And he gets the carry, running left on 1st down, and he is speared down in the backfield. Malik Crawford delivers the hit.
Malik Crawford was the only person who could have stopped Devon Ford from getting into the end zone on that play.
2nd and goal.
Got away from his blocker. Good open field tackle. It's a loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd and goal now from the 5. Shotgun. Wojcinski will throw over the middle. That pass tipped and incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete.
I think it might have gone off the hands of Jacob Marr.
It absolutely did.
3rd and goal.
We'll take a look at it again. It's looking right, nothing there, throws over the middle. Marr went for it. He wasn't the one who was calling for it. Saw Manny Exelholm raise his hand and say, hey, I'm open, hit me. Marr went up for the ball, couldn't bring it down. Now 3rd down and goal for the Rams. Vaughn gets the carry, forcing his way straight up the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, Framingham State. This game is quickly getting out of hand. Devon Ford, the 5-yard touchdown carry.
David Morales a bit slow to get up. You could see him and Royale Richards both trying to team up, and you could see they came together trying to stop Ford, and ultimately Ford not taken down until he was able to cross the goal line.
Daniels Latham will attempt his 4th extra point of the game.
Lombardo the holder.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and through.
Kick is good.
So we have played just 3 minutes and a second here in the 3rd quarter, and Framingham State has already matched their offensive output of the entire 1st half. Now, Dan, the 28-0 scoreline feels a little more representative.
Indeed it does, and It comes down to another turnover. The Falcons have only been able to have one play from scrimmage in this quarter, and just that fumble away, another fumble leading to a score for the Rams. It's just been a challenging third quarter, and now, as
it has in many ways been a challenging season here at Elliott Field.
The Falcons have had so many injuries they've had to deal with. They've got players playing both sides of the ball because that's just the desperation of it. One of their D linemen in William Healy actually changed his number to 74 because they need him on the O-line now. And this Falcon team, not a deep roster coming in, only 59 players.
The sideline warning.
In the future, I would request of our official, turn your microphone on after you blow your whistle. Please, sir. Josh Nelson takes the kickoff in at about his own 10-yard line, cuts to the far sideline, and he'll be dragged down at around the 30-yard line. Return of 20 yards. Had a couple of folks, Dan, come up to us who had made the drive up from Colts Neck, New Jersey today. They were actually listening to the game on the drive, hit a little bit of traffic. They were very complimentary. So we want to thank them for that.
Absolutely. That's why we have the online stream at fatv.org. All of our football games broadcasting on the stream, and they were able to pull it up on their phones in the car.
So right here, you can see right at the end of our replay, the officials missed that, our cameras did not. Devon White of the Rams and Luke Noyes of the Falcons just
Dead ball.
having a little slap fight.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Fitchburg number 89. 15 yards, first down.
They always call the guy who retaliates.
Number 89, first unsportsmanlike conduct.
It's always on the guy who retaliates, isn't it?
Because often the retaliation seems to be a little more demonstrative, and if you didn't catch the original, you're going to catch the retaliation because it's a little more obvious by that point.
So Devon White gets, he got away with something. Let's not mince words here. It's a 15-yard penalty, backs the Falcons up to their own 15. They send Nelson in motion. Handoff goes Robert Jackson, his first carry of the game. Plunges forward to about the 23-yard line, excuse me. Good to see Jackson back in the game. He left with what looked like a shoulder injury earlier.
It seemed like he had hurt his shoulder making a tackle on special teams earlier, but now with Lawton having fumbled the ball away, now that'd be a time for the Falcons to change their backfield. And so Robert Jackson, he got his first carry of the day. That was the first time we've seen him on offense today. Actually had a pretty good run there.
Second down and 2 for the Falcons. Nelson once again coming in motion. Going all the way to the far side. Jackson gets the carry running the opposite way to the left. And he gets 2 feet. Let's call it 2 feet. Ran into a whole herd of Rams once again. Brian Donahue, Cully Curran there leading the assault. Be now 3rd down and 1.
For Jackson, the way that he's made runs this season, it feels like he gets some good yardage if he can get to the flanks, but if he runs it up the middle, about 2 or 3 yards seems to be the ceiling for him on those runs.
He'll stay in the backfield on 3rd down. Falcons 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. That's Frank Sims, the 4th in motion. Low snap, Fitzsimons brings it in, hits Sims on the pass. Catch is made at about the 25, but no progress from there. He's driven backwards. It's a gain of a foot, and he needed 1.5 yards, so it will be 4th down.
They gave him the first down? Or?
They did not. Did they?
They did.
Makes the catch at the 25, is then driven back from there, and they spot it at the 26. Okay. I'm not complaining. Are you complaining?
You're down 28-0, so you take what you can get.
Exactly. 1st and 10 Falcons at their own, sure, it's the 26-yard line, why not? Josh Nelson goes in motion, and Jackson gets the carry running to his right. He is under pressure immediately in the backfield, can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Shorn Hawthorne with the tackle.
I did say that those big yards depend on if he gets to the flank. And in this case, Josh Smiley slows him down a little bit. A couple more Rams there.
Smiley made the initial hit, but it was Shorn Hawthorne who was able to bring him down, just went down low, turned him backside over tea kettle. It's a loss of 4 now.
See if the Falcons might be willing to go through the air a little more. Fitzsimon 6 for 13 for just 34 yards, and of course the interception.
Falcon receivers have absolutely no idea how they should be lining up. Connor Fitzsimons is not happy with his guys.
Timeout. Fitchburg State. First charge, timeout.
You can see the look of great disapproval. You can also see Jesse Brown has put on some sweatpants and a hoodie, meaning that he's definitely not finishing this game. We saw him leave the game with an injury earlier, but it's good to see he's back up on his feet and all that stuff.
Injuries to Jesse Brown, injuries all over the place. Falcons plumbing the depths of their chart. The receivers, Jillo Oquendo, Gubai Pyers, and Josh Nelson.
The injury bug so severe for the Falcons, there were several spots on the 2 deep that only went 1 deep.
It's not good. It's called a 2 deep. Like that's the name of the thing.
Sometimes the injury bug can be quite distressing. Their team out in Iowa, Grinnell, had to call an early into their season as their 39-man roster fell to 28, and by that point, with an 0-3 record and 3 points scored.
No, you can't play football with 28 guys. Eventually, that's a way to kill people.
It's very difficult.
2nd down and 14. Fitzsimons back to pass under a lot of pressure, and he falls down. He was assisted to the ground by any number of Rams. Let's give, Attaboy Oyaronbe the sack, just so I can call his name. And there he is, big number 90. Delivers the hit as Fitzsimons was going down.
Wasn't just a matter of picking a name at random. That was the guy who did it.
Absolutely. I saw him out on the field, and I made an educated guess that also incidentally allowed me to say Attaboy Oyaronbe. If I'm going to spend 10 minutes learning how to say his name before the game, I'm going to say it at least once. 3rd down and 18 now for the Falcons after the sack. And Fitzsimons looking for the quick pass to the near side. That's complete. Jillo Oquendo with the catch. Gets across the 20, but he needed, I won't tell you exactly how much more than he needed than that, but he needed more. It will be 4th down, and the Falcon unit to punt will come back out onto the field.
Isaac Nascimento's had a great game defensively for the Rams. Not getting beaten there by Jillo Oquendo. He's also got that fumble recovery. He's got an interception. He's done a whole lot for the Rams today on defense, the freshman from Wareham.
Joe Haskins will kick it away. It's going to take a Falcon roll that sends it into Ram territory, but it will be marked down at the 49-yard line. And you remember what I said about the injury bug for the Falcons, Dan? Well, Joe Assayer is coming off hobbling, one of the blockers for the Falcon punting unit.
It's like the Falcons just needed more guys getting hurt.
Feels like this 3rd quarter has been going for roughly ever, but there's still 7:27 to play in the 3rd quarter of action. Framingham State leading this one 28-0. They will come back out on offense. Adam Wojcinski, the quarterback. Devon Ford, the tailback.
Rams still with their first choice quarterback and running back in the game. We're not quite in that lopsided territory yet.
Ford gets the carry 1st down, breaks out a 1 tackle. Flag comes in very late.
Holding, offense number 70. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Holding on the Rams, Andrew Fennelly, is guilty. See if we can spot it here. He's number 70, right at the top of your screen there. Yep, he's got a handful of shirt. You can't do that, Andrew. It's against the rules.
You can see the first man to Ford as well was David Morales, who tried to grab him by the jersey but let go. And if he had successfully pulled him down by that spot,
that would have been a horse collar.
Would have just turned into offsetting with the hold at the end. But still, 1st and 20 for Framingham now.
1st and 20, as you said, for the Rams. They need to get to the Falcon 41. And it'll be 1st and 25 as Devon Ford could not hold his spot.
Number 22, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So Dan, Framingham State is leading this game 28-0. They're absolutely dominant. They're the better team. They're going to win, and they shouldn't listen to me. But also, they can't get out of their own darn way, can they?
Penalties, as we've said, has been one of their weaknesses. That's their 7th of the day. Only 2 more to get to their season average.
1st down and 25 after the hold and the false start. Motion man comes to the near side. Wojcinski takes the shotgun snap, looking long to his right, well covered, now throws short over the middle. Pass is caught back across the initial line of scrimmage into Falcon territory is Kenny Weruhayu. He's brought down at about the 46-yard line.
4th catch of the season for the junior from Lowell, Kennedy Weruhayu. Another one of the wonderful names Framingham has on their roster. Don't you love pronunciation guides?
Oh, they're the best things. They really are. Every school should have them. 2nd down and about 5 after the gain of 20 for Weruhayu. Devon Ford gets the carry. He's got the 1st down, and he slides down. Did he blow a tire there?
Felt more like a blow tire based on the fact that his feet were out to the side as he went down, sort of as he was rolling.
Take a look at it here.
Replay don't lie.
He just lost his footing, slipped down. Guys fell on top of him. Give Elliott the tackle. Elliott Field. He's a 20th year senior, Elliott Field. First and 10 for the Rams at the Falcon 39-yard line. Marr goes in motion. Ford gets the carry, breaks out of one tackle. He's into the open field, across the 20, 15, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Framingham State. Devon Ford, the 39-yard run.
2nd touchdown of the day for Devon Ford.
A freshman from Mashpee breaks out of one tackle. And the marketing major found pay dirt there.
Longest run of the season, too, for Ford. As long as 36 coming into today.
And it is now 39. Fifth extra point attempt of the day is up. And it is once again good. Not quite 10 minutes gone here in this 3rd quarter. And Framingham State has blown it wide open, 35-0 in favor of the Rams. You know, Dan, and this is true, and you might not believe it, some dolt, some absolute idiot suggested that the Falcons might have an upset brewing 10 minutes of football ago. Can you believe they let a stupid person like that talk on television? I don't know who that guy was, but he is dumb.
At some point, I was going to try to reference that game about a decade ago when Fitchburg State had a 1-win season, but their one win was a 48-46 decision over Maine Maritime.
Was that the game where I said they were wamboozled?
I believe so. That was a game in which Maritime ultimately finished the regular season with a record of 9-1.
And the one loss was at Elliott Field against Fitchburg State University.
Yep. A team that didn't win another game that year. It was very it's one of the, so that's my motivation for continuing to watch, because you never know what can quite happen.
This kickoff is going to go out of bounds. So Framingham State finding new and inventive ways to cost themselves yardage. Again, they're leading by 5 touchdowns. It's not going to cost them this game, but it may cost them a game at some point in the future.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball will be placed on the 35-yard line, 1st down.
So Fitchburg State will have it, as you heard, at their own 35-yard line. Connor Fitzsimons will lead his offense back out onto the field.
Falcons first and 10 from their own 35.
Coming into today, Fitzsimons actually had never thrown a pass against the Rams, although he's been with the Falcons for the last few years. And he's played quarterback in each of the 4 years he's been here at Fitchburg State, just never in the games against Framingham.
Steve Lawton, the carry on first down. And really, Dan, getting back to your point about Connor Fitzsimons, he's been with this team for a very long time through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of quarterback changes, finally getting the chance to start in his senior season.
2nd and 9.
Hasn't exactly gone the way he'd like.
There have been a lot of challenges. The receiving core has become a bit bare. It's not quite the core they had when Garrett Delikiai was taking the snaps. The challenge is trying to find those replacements, getting out there, recruiting.
Robert Jackson, the carry on second down, gets essentially nothing.
I have no idea what that was about at the end, with Frank Sims getting tackled about 5 seconds after the play ended.
Well, like I said, Framingham State is coming up with new and innovative ways. I don't think they've had an unsportsmanlike called against them, so.
Sims is going to come off the field after that.
May just be a personnel move. 3rd and 10, the Falcons will go with 3 wide receivers rather than the second tight end. Lawton remains in the game, comes back in for 3rd down.
Had to come up because of the helmet coming off. Sorry about that.
Fitzsimons throws right. That pass is complete into Ram territory. Picking up the first down and more is Gubai Pyers. Stop the clock, move the chains to the 43-yard line of Framingham State.
Pyers had a particularly good drive last week against Plymouth, which he got his first 3 career catches all in the same drive, and the Falcons were able to get pretty deep into Panthers territory before bad things happened.
Falcons needed 10 yards there. Pyers ran the 10-yard hook. He was open, he made the catch. That's all they needed for the first down. Now Lawton gets the carry, straight up the middle. Runs into the line, gains maybe 2, 3, 2.5.
Almost 3 on the play.
3 and a negative half, something like that.
Looking at where the stick is, looking at how they're going to put him right at the 40, looks like it's going to be a solid 3.
All right then. We'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Throw a dart at somebody wearing 90 for the Rams, and he made the tackle. It was, let's say, Anderson LaRoseliere. He made the tackle. 2nd and 7, Fitzsimons shotgun, quick pass to the near side is complete. Joe Oquendo with the catch, and not much more than that. Forward progress, and then a shove down. Facundo Isis making his return to Fitchburg, and he makes an impact here in a negative fashion for Framingham State.
As you said, John, new and inventive ways.
Personal foul, late hit, defense number 99, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So Joe Oquendo makes the catch and then is wrapped up by 3 Rams here. They're trying to strip the ball out. The whistle had already blown before Isis even lowered his shoulder. Delivers a big hit. Felt good about it in the moment, but now he realizes that shouldn't have happened. And Facundo Isis will be taken to the sidelines to have a chat. 15-yard penalty gives the Falcons 1st and 10 at the Ram 23-yard line. Best chance they've had to score all day. Fitzsimons' pass to the far side is almost intercepted. Ripped away from Isaac Nascimento. Trying to hit that quick slant. Nelson was there. Nascimento jumped the route. Nelson just yanked him down. Nascimento wasn't able to hang on to the ball.
2nd and 10.
If it wasn't for Nelson becoming a surprise emergency defensive back there, would have been yet another turnover for the Falcons.
Motion to the near side for Fitchburg State is Miguel Perez. Carry straight up the middle by Lawton. Good gain, maybe call it 5, solid 6 yards even.
Get the Falcons into the red zone. Less than 20 yards from goal and definitely in 4-down territory, I'd have to believe.
Framingham State had a solid rush coming off the edge there, but the play ran right up the middle. Picked up 5. It'll be 3rd down. This is definitely 4-down territory for Fitchburg.
Falcons are 3 for 11 on 3rd down, have not yet attempted a 4th down.
They need 5 here. Ridenour goes in motion. Play action fake. Fitzsimons rolls to his right, looking for Ridenour. Now throws for the end zone. Nelson is there. We await the signal. He has the ball. He has the touchdown, Falcons. Josh Nelson with the touchdown. Falcons have run this play action play a number of times today. This is a very well thrown ball and an excellent catch right in the corner of the end zone. Lene DeChill on to attempt the extra point for the Falcons. Haskins will hold. Snap is down, kick is up, and that is good. Lene DeChill with the extra point. Saw her miss one earlier this season here at Elliott. Her form and leg strength has improved significantly. Fitchburg State now trails 35-7. So let's not go too nuts, but hey, they scored.
They did. Lene DeChill's got her first career NCAA point. And I know we saw her during warm-ups a couple of weeks ago. She could hit from 30 out. She's definitely got range. But with a lot of the Falcons' options hurt, it's good to see that she's fit to play and nailed that extra point.
DeChill, the junior from Valley Falls, New York. Hits the extra point, but it will be Joe Haskins doing the kicking off. Again, Bubba Lynch not active today. I haven't even seen him down on the sidelines. Then again, I wouldn't recognize him without a jersey on, so who knows? But the real story, Dan, is that I got to call the touchdown right at the end of the 3rd quarter. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha.
And my streak continues.
Short kick taken in by one of the up men for Framingham State, brought back across the 45-yard line.
RJ Fiali was the man.
Gets it to the 45 where the Rams will take over. Probably still the first team offense coming out. And that is in fact Adam Wojcinski doing the quarterbacking, Devon Ford the running back. Maybe one more possession for Framingham State for their main offense, that is to say. Marr comes in motion. He'll set up as a fullback, fake the handoff to him, give it to Ford instead, goes straight up the middle, gets some good blocking. He's into Falcon territory, brought down at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 6.
Devon Ford, the ball carrier.
For Ford, that last touchdown run got him over 100 yards in the day, 115 now.
2nd and 4.
He's averaged only 63 a game coming into today's contest. One of his best games of his young career.
And he gets it again on 2nd down, this time running to the left, cuts it up the field, got the 1st down and plenty more. Across the 40, run out of bounds, and there is a Falcon player down. I believe that is Royale Richards.
He was pounding the ground immediately as that play was ending. He is in distress.
Take a look at the play here. Ford just bounces it out to the far side. Gets good blocking and then good upfield running. Finally run out of bounds. Couldn't see what happened to Richards on the play. There he is being tended to. While we have a moment, Dan, why don't we give thanks for the first time today to our crew here at FATV. We thank them as always. Our director today is Dave Oster. Travis Falk doing Travis Falk things. He's the technical manager, audio engineer, graphics operator. You name it, Travis Falk is doing it. Jared Roberts handling replays for us today. And our camera operators, excellent as always, Matt Murdoka, Matt Macris, and Antonio Garcia. Good to see Royale Richards getting up and walking off under his own power. We're going to take a look at what happened to him here. See if we can spot it. Richards is number 33. He's at the bottom of your screen covering the slot receiver. Just kind of pulls up lame, then goes down. Maybe felt something pull. Who knows? Hopefully he is all right. We'll keep an eye on him. Final play of the third quarter, in all likelihood, is a deep pass going down the far side, and it falls incomplete. He was intended for Marr. Well covered for the Falcons. And we'll actually get one more play here. 13 seconds left to play in the third quarter of action.
Yep, the last play assumed that there was going to be a completion, not something that would stop the clock. I just consulted the Falcon too deep to see who will go in for the Falcons in that position at linebacker on the two deep, which was nobody.
Okay.
That was one of the empty spots.
I assume somebody is there. They still have 11 guys on the field.
They do. They have to pull from another row then.
Fake the fullback handoff. Ford gets the carry on second down. Tries to get across the 30. He's brought down before he can reach it. Malik Crawford with the tackle.
Malik Crawford applying the Fitchburg hit.
We'll take a look at this one more time.
Third quarter,
Done that a couple times on this drive, Dan. Fake the fullback handoff, then give it to Ford.
And that time Ford thinks better of trying to run into the pile and instead cuts back to his left. Finds some space there.
And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Framingham State blowing this one wide open. It was 14-0 going in. It is 35-7 coming out. But we do want to thank still our football underwriters who help bring this and every football telecast to you at home here on FATV. And they include Fitchburg State University, 160 Pearl Street here in Fitchburg, Red Apple Farm, 455 Highland Avenue in Phillipston, IC Credit Union, 300 Bemis Road, Fitchburg, North End Subaru Mazda, 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg, the Neshoba Valley Medical Center, 200 Groton Road in Ayer, Mass, Rabano's Market, 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg, and of course Grand Rental Station, 88 Massachusetts Avenue in Lunenburg.
I can give you another scoreboard update. Plymouth State has defeated Westfield State by a score of 38-13. Westfield State is Fitchburg's next opponent at home on FATV in 2 weeks' time.
That will be Saturday, October the 26th, as you said, 2 weeks from today, a 2 p.m. kickoff. But we still have one more quarter of action to play, and here with the play-by-play for that fourth quarter is Mr. Dan Bolak.
Thank you, John. As we start this fourth quarter, still the first team offense for the Rams out there. Adam Wojcinski out of the pistol, fakes the handoff to Ford, quick throw over the middle, that's Austin Nunn, and Nunn's gonna keep on going. He can't be pulled down, he reaches for the goal line. He'll be down at the 1 yard line. Another great catch for Austin Nunn.
Austin Nunn had A.J. Cadell wrapped around him, but he fought forward for the extra yardage. He's got the catch, he's got the first down. Cadell hits him at the 12, but Nunn just keeps running forward. He's finally brought down maybe 2 yards shy of the end zone. Fantastic work after the catch by Austin Nunn.
So on first and goal, they gave it to Nunn, lined up as a fullback, and he's able to get across the goal line, finish what he started. Touchdown Rams, 41-7.
I love that call by Tom Kelly. Austin Nunn had the catch and the run and the incredible effort that comes up just a yard short. And then on first and goal, he's not a fullback, but he knows where to stand. We're going to give him the ball. We're going to give him the touchdown that he earned.
Able to just drive right in there. His first carry of the season, the sophomore from Bellingham. And he's got the touchdown.
And unfortunately, there is once again a Falcon player down, A.J. Cadell. Nunn ran pretty much right through him on that touchdown carry, and of course Cadell was the man who stopped him on the play before.
Todd Soulier and Rebecca Schursnow have been far too busy in this contest. They've had far too much work to do anchoring that Falcons medical staff.
Cadell's a senior, comes to us from Webster, Mass. He is up. And he'll come off under his own power, always good to see, of course.
Daniel Slatham had a bit of a dramatic game last week. Had trouble getting consistency on his extra points. He's obviously been working on it.
He's had plenty of practice today. This will be his 6th.
He came in today 11 for 16 on extra points. He's been perfect. And so we'll see how this one goes. That one's up, and that one is through. 6 points on the day for the fashion design major from Riga, Latvia, Daniel Slatham. It's 42-7, Framingham in front.
A little bit of a low kick, but still, if you had Daniel Latham as your fantasy kicker in your Division III Fantasy Football League, you had a good day. Although then again, you're in a Division III Fantasy Football League, so is any day a good day? Something to discuss.
So 42-7 the score between Framingham and Fitchburg, 14:23 to go. Try to have a look around what's going on in Falcon sports. I can tell you both soccer teams in action today against Mass Maritime. The men will be playing at 5 o'clock.
We saw that the women's team was leading 3-1 earlier.
And they did hold on to win by a score of 3-2.
Well, it makes sense that Mass Maritime would be bad at soccer. There's no soccer on the water.
And women's volleyball playing as part of a tri-match at WPI. In the early game, they took on the Pride of Regis and fell in straight sets. They'll take on the WPI Engineers, the host team, at 3 o'clock. And as we mentioned, men's soccer will be hosting Mass Maritime. That should be an interesting contest. I'd recommend coming on down if you've got the time. And so Nelson immediately hit as he gets just past the 20-yard line.
Framingham special teams unit very happy with that tackle. So we heard a big burst of excitement from the visiting faithful who've made the drive from Framingham.
And in some cases, points farther beyond.
Just a bit. I think Colts Neck, New Jersey is a little bit further away than Framingham, Massachusetts.
Gage French, the freshman linebacker from Seahawk. He was the one who made that tackle. On first down, Lon will take the carry, try to go up the middle. There's often not much there. About 2 yards gained on that one.
It's been the first down play for much of this season for Fitchburg State. Hand it off to Lawton, or hand it off to Santiago, or hand it off to Jackson, or hand it off to Lynch. Hand it off to somebody.
Try to go up the middle, maybe hope that someone won't be able to wrap you up. Lots of other things. But Simons looks to pass. This one's complete. It's Gillo Oquendo, pulled down by the jersey. Gets not a whole lot on that one.
Missy Gillo Oquendo has really become one of the favored targets for Connor Fitzsimons, especially in the absence of Jesse Brown. Brown left with a leg injury after fumbling a ball earlier in this game. We've seen him moving around. He's hopefully going to be all right to play in the future, but he will take no further part in this game.
On third down, couple receivers split out to the right, 3 of them in fact. And Fitzsimons quickly rolls out there. That throw is not very good.
He was trying to find Nelson. Pass was a little bit out of his reach. A flag is thrown as well.
A very, very late flag.
It's a hold against the Falcons, and they're going to decline it.
Illegal block below the waist. Number 30 on the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So a block below the waist by Lawton. Can see it right there. You can't do that, Steve. It comes to nothing as the pass fell incomplete, and Framingham State will take the ball back.
Haskins back in there to punt. And Cully Curran back to receive. There's that rollout kick. Curran's going to try to field it. Knee was down, and then there's a lot of stuff on the far side.
It's a couple of Rams there. It's also Andrew Shore, one of the gunners for Fitchburg State. Cully Curran made that catch with a knee on the ground, so he was down immediately.
In the NFL, one could get back up and continue running, but in amateur football, once you're down, once you've got a knee down like that, that's the end of the play.
Yep. Take a look at it again here. You can see he makes the catch and then his knee is down, so right there the play is dead. Can't get up and run with it.
It'll be a new quarterback now for the Rams. Joey Lombardo, the sophomore from Colts Neck, New Jersey, comes into the contest now. We see some different personnel here as Lombardo throws. Near side, that is complete. A big catch and run there is down around the 39-yard line.
Nashawn Butler with the first down catch.
A freshman from Lynn, a graduate of Lynn Classical. Tell you, didn't have too many receptions coming into today. Might be his first.
We saw Anthony Lombardo make a catch earlier in this game. Now Joey Lombardo, his older brother, in at quarterback for Framingham State.
He's going to take it himself. Immediately wrapped up by Sam Kenny.
Short game, Samuel Kenny had to hit for Fitchburg. 2nd and 9.
Looks like this was a designed quarterback run all the way. Lombardo looked upfield, but only for a moment. Decided to take off with it, and Kenny brought him down. Probably a bit of the future here for Framingham State. Lombardo, the sophomore.
They go with the deep pass here, left side incomplete.
Was trying to find Jack Tanous.
There's also a flag on the play as well.
Referee is indicating an ineligible man downfield. And the Falcons will decline.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
First time we've called Phil Catalano's name today.
They actually chose to accept the penalty.
Take a look at the pass here from Lombardo. Pretty well thrown. As I was saying, he is a sophomore and Adam Wojcinski is a senior. The never-ending cycle of college football.
Looks like a
This is
different
actually
quarterback.
Nick Gordon who's going to take this snap.
Goes with a quick dump-off throw. That one's complete down the left side. And it's going to be A.J. Royal making that one, the sophomore tight end, also from Colts Neck, New Jersey. Well, couldn't get the Colts Neck connection there, though.
So I mentioned we spoke with the folks who made the trip from Colts Neck, New Jersey. They've gotten to see all their boys, all their local kids in this game. Both of the Lombardos, and now A.J. Royal making the catch.
First down for the Rams. Gordon will hand it off. It'll be a run up the middle. Good run there for Marinaccio. A lot of young faces here. Freshman, sophomore, seems like down the board.
Marinaccio's a freshman out of Wakefield. We mentioned him earlier. Nick Gordon, who just relieved Lombardo at quarterback, is a freshman from Franklin.
Gordon came to this game with one passing attempt, which was complete for 6 yards. Lombardo was 3 for 7 coming in.
And now Joey Lombardo is back in at quarterback.
Going back and forth, back and forth. Lombardo's going to run it this time, rolling out to the left side, cutting up field, going towards the end zone. He's going to be just short.
Joey Lombardo wanted the official to give him the touchdown there. There is a flag down.
Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Hold on the Rams.
Kyle Sullivan this time. It's a different person every time, you know.
It is. See, right here, this is an option play. Lombardo waits very late to bring the ball back. Now, Sullivan is number 75. I think we saw him right at the top of the screen just for a moment, dragging down a Falcon defender. And that is also against the accepted rules of American football as laid out by the NCAA.
Second and 12.
So we roll down towards 10 minutes to go. Framingham 42, Fitchburg 7.
And Nick Gordon will take the snap for the Rams.
6 and 9, 6 and 9, back and forth they go.
It's a nice duo of backup quarterbacks for Framingham State.
And Gordon thinking about running with it. He's going to run with it. Kenny will wrap him up at the 21-yard line.
Ball carrier. Wrapped up by Samuel Kenny.
We mentioned the pair of quarterbacks Framingham State has turned to. This is also a nice defensive play by the Falcons. Samuel Kenny breaking his engagement with the offensive lineman and chasing down the quarterback from behind.
3 receivers to the right for Gordon. Marinaccio in the backfield on 3rd down. About 8 to go. Gordon with time, looking for the end zone, looking for the left corner. And that is incomplete.
Incomplete.
I think he was trying to hit Tanous.
Jack Tanous, the intended receiver.
Pass was, it would have been a heck of a catch just to keep his feet in bounds, but it fell incomplete. We'll take a look at it again. Gordon, the left-handed quarterback, see Tanous going full extension. I think if he had maintained possession, it would have been a good catch, but he did not. Now 4th down and 9 in the maroon zone. They'll go for it.
Joey Lombardo will take this one.
They will take a delay of game penalty before they get the snap off.
Timeout, Framingham State. First charge, timeout.
Or they'll take timeout. Hey, they remembered that they can take timeouts.
Those are things. You get 3 of them every half. That was their first of the half. But of course. 9:27 to go, 4th quarter. Framingham 42, Fitchburg 7.
Now we have to fill time. How do we fill time, Dan?
How about we talk about Red Raider football next week?
Let's do that. Red Raiders coming off a 7-0 victory last night over Algonquin here on FATV, and they will be back in action from historic Crocker Field this coming Friday, October the 18th, taking on the Patriots of North Middlesex. That, of course, a 7 o'clock kickoff, and we will have all the action right here on FATV.
The Red Raiders now 3-2. Securely right now in the top 4 in Division 4. And the top 4 get you into the postseason. The Red Raiders trying to get back there for the first time in a few years.
That would be good to see.
If they can get a win over North Middlesex, they will be one step closer.
North Middlesex coming in winless on the season, so you have to think the Raiders will be favored in that one.
You're going to go back to Nick Gordon. Marinaccio is going to take the run here. He's not going to get to the line to gain.
Marinaccio, the ball carrier.
Down about 5 yards short of that at the 18-yard line. So the Falcons do force a turnover on downs.
Well, 4th down and 9, you're leading by 35 points. A handoff like this is as close as a football team is going to come to saying, no, fine, just have the ball. We don't care that much.
So the Falcons will take the field. J.C. Santiago is going to go into the backfield for the first time today. And Connor Fitzsimons will remain the quarterback.
Ridenour goes in motion.
And the ball goes to the direction he goes in motion in. And Santiago gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more before he is sent back from which he came.
I think that's Chase Buono who made the tackle. See him here, he will be instantly identifiable. You see the big head of hair covering up a 19 on his back. Buono, the freshman from Lynn.
Also a Lynn Classical graduate.
2nd and 9.
They will give Santiago a yard on that. So 2nd and 9 it'll be. Fitzsimons looking to pass. Thrown well downfield towards the left side, looking for Goodbye Pirates. And into double coverage and out of bounds. There wasn't really a whole lot there.
Toby Pyers, the intended receiver. 3rd and 9.
Fitzsimons had plenty of time to throw. Stepped up, let that one fly. As it turned out, he let it fly a little too far.
Joden Stiddy and Moise Nazaire were the 2 Rams in the vicinity. Now a 3rd and 10. Fitzsimons 11 for 21 for 83 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the day. Rolls out to the right. Throws this one. It's going to be. Is that going to be intercepted? Yes, sir. Yet another turnover. It's going to be Alex Militello, I believe, coming down with that one.
With the kick for Framingham State.
Take a look at this one again. Fitzsimons rolls right and he's looking that way all the way. Militello jumps the route there. Thought for a second he was going to drop it, but he's able to recover his own bobble and make the interception. Alex Militello, the sophomore from Gloucester, gives the Rams the ball back in Falcon territory. And it'll be Joey Lombardo leading the offense for now.
It's going to be turnover number 5 on the day for the Falcons. They've matched their mark from last week. On 1st down, another new back into this game.
Rosen Pierre.
Rosen Pierre, the ball carrier. Gain of almost 2.
Pierre is a freshman, listed as a wide receiver / running back.
That was my doing. He's just a wide receiver on the official roster, but all of his meaningful contributions have been out of the backfield.
I see.
So on 2nd down, Lombardo scrambling around, finds a lot of pay dirt on the left side, and he's going to be down inside the 5-yard line. Looks like this run's going to count for Lombardo. He had a similar run that was called back due to holding. Looks like this time the Rams kept it clean.
Take a look at this one. It looks like this may be an option running right, and then Lombardo decides to cut back against the flow of play. I mean, obviously for Framingham State, Tom Kelly, he's looking at both of his backup quarterbacks, the sophomore Lombardo, as well as the freshman Nick Gordon. We've only had, 1.5 series of action for them, but to my eye, Lombardo is much more explosive as the passing option.
They got the end around going here, and a lot more space developing, going towards the end zone. Just short there was Nishawn Butler.
We saw the Rams run this one much earlier in the game, back when it was still a contest. Wound up as a flea flicker and a pass. This time they do the reverse. Butler was almost brought down in the backfield. Was able to get some positive yardage out of it all the way to the 1-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and goal.
Still Lombardo in the backfield. Marinaccio to his left. Marinaccio will take it and drive through. Touchdown, Rams.
1-yard touchdown rush. Danny Marinaccio.
Danny Marinaccio, pardon me, Dan, the freshman from Wakefield, gets the touchdown.
His first career touchdown. 48-7. Where's the 9 coming from? Anyway, maybe the 9 that they're going to try to put up in the ones column.
No, Dan, I believe you were saying, do the Falcons have a chance in this game? 9. I don't know why we're speaking German, but we are.
It's a much better explanation.
Extra point attempt is up and good. And Dan, it has been a tough streak for the Falcons. They come into this game losers of their last 3 and losing those 3 games by a combined score of 129-19. We saw one of those losses here at Elliott Field, the 50-6 defeat at the hands of Bridgewater State.
Now for the Falcons, it does get a little better. Maritime next week down at Buzzards Bay. Maritime is 4-0. They've got a very tough WestCon team, and frankly, I'm not convinced that Maritime's been playing particularly strong competition in these 4 weeks. So
we were talking today, you have, and this will not come as a surprise to our fans at home who have been watching us over the past few years, you have your own proprietary personal ranking system for D3, and you had Maritime ranked, what was it, 40th or something?
I have them 167 out of 247.
So not very good is what you think Mass Maritime is, basically.
That is correct.
And we will respectfully pass on listing your ranking for Fitchburg State because we want the folks in Fitchburg to like us still, right?
Now, the next 2 games after that are against Westfield and Worcester, who are now a combined 0-12.
Okay.
So those are very much winnable games. And as we mentioned, we'll have the Westfield game for you in a fortnight's time here from Elliott Field.
Oh, it'll take more than fortnight. It'll take a lot of rounds of fortnight. That game goes by real quick.
On the kickoff, it's going to be an up man taking this one. It's going to be Lawton who's going to have this one.
It's 49-7. Sell my jokes.
Stephen Lawton with the kickoff return.
If only I actually tried playing Fortnite penalty, because why not?
Of course.
After return, dead ball foul, late hit, personal foul, number 1 of the kicking team, 15 yards, first down.
Cully Curran has been all over the place defensively for Framingham State. Unfortunately for him, he's called for a foul here. It'll be after the play is over. Curran is number 1, so we'll see if we can spot it. He's at the top of the screen, and he actually shoves down Josh Nelson, who kind of tripped over the pile as well. And that draws the flag, and the penalty will assess and give the Falcons the ball 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
Connor Fitzsimons will stay in the game. Jackson in the backfield. He'll take it on 1st down. Go through the middle and get not very much again.
Dan, we spoke a little bit earlier about Connor Fitzsimons being the senior and having a long, difficult career, playing many roles for the Falcons, and you certainly do want to reward that, and he's being rewarded with the starting job here in his senior season. We talked about it last time we were broadcasting in the loss, the 50-6 loss. Why are you not even looking at your backup quarterbacks in this situation?
It does surprise me that we still haven't seen Mohamed Mahmoud or Bryson Maloney or Joe Haskins taking snaps for the Falcons. Jackson will have this one up the left side, get it to near midfield. It's a gain of a couple more, but it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7.
Take a look at this one again. Intermittent success the Falcons have had, and I'm trying not to say too much about Hebert Villafrance and just how much we saw of his backside on that play.
7 to go on 3rd down. Falcons 4 for 14 today on 3rd. And Fitzsimons quickly under pressure, rolls it out, throws it over to Sims. That one was caught, but it was a bad catch because that's negative yardage.
Joden's Diddy makes the tackle. Framingham State was coming on the blitz, and they had the snap timed perfectly. From the moment this ball was snapped, they were under pressure. Fitzsimons just getting rid of it to Frank Sims, rather.
Sims made a really nice effort to pull that one in, and it's great that he did that. It's a shame, though, that he's going to get negative yardage for that, though.
Hey, if you're playing in a PPR D3 fantasy league, what are you doing playing PPR fantasy? Come on, it's 2019.
Haskins will boot this downfield. Diddy's going to let this one go. It's going to be a very nice punt for Haskins in his statistics, because that ball is going to die around the 2-yard line, as I could hear Framingham's coach's box. Well, Even if it's a 42-point lead with 4 minutes left, they still care about this. I thought it was a lot farther in than it was.
I think it may have been touched a bit earlier. The ball was certainly touched down at around the 2, but it may have been touched inside the 10. Take a look at it here.
That punt will be down at the 7-yard line.
Very important that we get the accurate spot. I think right there it may have clipped the leg of Muki Ashima.
I think that's Andrew Shore, actually.
Rams first and 10 from their own 7.
27?
Yep, you're right. Yeah, right there, it probably did hit his knee or his foot. So mark it dead at the 7-yard line, where the Rams will take over.
12 men on the field, on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Falcons caught with a Canadian defense.
That's good. I know you can't do that, but that's a great line. I like it.
So,
First and 5.
thought it was going to be from the 2, then it was going to be from the 7, now it's going to be from the 12. Lombardo remains the quarterback. And not getting anywhere on that run was Framingham.
Wasn't Pierre.
This was Pierre again.
Lost on the play.
Was brought down by David Morales. Framingham State obviously content to just milk as much of this clock as they can. You can see the score. You know the situation
Second
here.
and 7.
Gained 3 yards on that one. Different quarterback again.
This is
Noah Leonard.
Noah Leonard. I was looking at the wrong scorecard.
Freshman from Taunton.
And he has Isaiah Hanks in the backfield with him.
And Leonard will run with it and
Noah Leonard.
not get very far.
No gain on the play. Garrett Nelson applying the hit for Fitchburg.
Framingham has no problem at all with going down their depth chart of quarterbacks.
Trying to see if they've used every single one on the depth chart thus far. We've seen Leonard. We've seen Lombardo. We obviously saw Wojcinski.
That's all of them.
We saw Nick Gordon. That's all they got.
4 quarterbacks.
They've got 2 kickers. Maybe we'll see Henrique
Charge
Jaboni kick.
timeout, Framingham State. Charge timeout, Framingham State.
So a timeout called by the Rams. Perhaps as they try to draw up a play for Henrique Jaboni.
Wish we could find a way to get Hakeem McCoy into this game.
Would be nice.
The senior from Brighton, graduate of another course to college.
Now, Dan,
Yes.
is that a euphemism or is that a school I've never heard of?
It is a charter school in the Boston area.
Oh, so it's not a school, it's a charter school. Got it.
3:07 to go in the 4th. 49-7. Leonard looking to his right, throws. That one is caught. And big yardage coming here for Framingham. Down the 40 to the 45-yard line. Cyrus Singh.
It's another excellent name we had not yet called today.
Cyrus Singh on the receiving end.
Second career catch for Singh. First career completion for Noah Leonard. And Singh getting a lot of yards on this one.
Finally run out of bounds by Tim O'Neill
43.
after a big play. Cyrus Singh, the freshman from Cambridge.
And we have whistles. It's very important that we adjudicate this game to the letter.
Yep.
That we not let the rules slide just because the game is very lopsided.
Leo Bellegarde being sent to the sideline for one reason or another. He'll be replaced by Jack Tanous.
More of the whistle symphony. Our referee talking with
The
Tom
charge
Kelly.
timeout, Framingham State.
And they will be charged with their 3rd timeout. So Framingham State going deep into their depth chart, but losing track of how to actually play football.
Getting charged 2 timeouts because they take too long. This one's Nick Gordon this time. He's going to run to midfield.
Nick
A
Gordon.
good run for Gordon there. Got about 8 yards.
ran right into Tiago Palma. See there, he looks like he might slide. He decides to just lower the shoulder and deliver the hit. Palma's able to make the tackle.
8 yards gained on that one. So get ready to get under 2 minutes to go here. A first down will very much end this game, I'd have to think.
God, you gotta hope.
Falcons aren't willing to burn any timeouts. I would hope they are not willing to burn any timeouts. But sometimes I open my stupid mouth and stupid things happen. Anyway, another run. This one's another different person.
There
Isaiah
are flags.
Hanks. There are also flags.
Of course there are flags. Why wouldn't there be flags?
The umpire and referee discussing this. What stupid thing did
Dead
someone
ball,
do?
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 27, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Right at the end of the play there, you can see Andrew Shore, well after the man is tackled, he decides to dive on top of him. You can't do that. Andrew Shore running back on the program, but playing defense here.
First and 10 from the Fitchburg 29.
The Falcons so many times have had to put players where they're not listed.
Framingham State is not kneeling out the clock. They are throwing. They have no human decency.
This one is caught. And so now you can get Jack Tanous on the board. That is his first career catch.
With the reception gain of about 7.
For the freshman from Dedham. Got to get all these guys their first career catches, you know.
You want to get experience for your backups. I appreciate that. It is also 49-7 and there's 1 minute left. Stop. You ever seen that Simpsons gif? Stop, stop, he's already dead. The Falcons are already dead.
And now another run for Pierre. Up to the right side. Touchdown, Rams.
The Falcons are already dead.
Rosen-Pierre gets himself on the board. 55-7. Can you tell that my announcer voice has already gone into the openly rooting for the other team side now?
I'm just wondering, Dan, if you remember a question I asked you at the end of our last broadcast.
And that would be?
Is it going to be 50-6 next time? And you, a person who I once trusted, said no. No.
Latham, extra point is good. Here's another thing. Do you want me to be completely honest here?
Oh, please.
All right.
We're already in trouble. Do more.
So
we can't possibly be the biggest FATV controversy of this week.
So I was telling people, it's like, so on Saturday I'm going to go to Elliott Field. I'm going to watch Fitchburg State lose 56-7, and then I'm going to go home.
You were right.
That was the exact scoreline I swore was going to happen, and that's what we've got. Admittingly, I said the same scoreline for the Cortland game, and it didn't work out that way.
Well, you know.
You can only be right.
There's still 52 seconds for the Falcons to lead a miracle drive that miraculously makes you wrong.
And I would greatly appreciate it.
It would be fun. You would get to call a Fitchburg touchdown.
Which I haven't done in the last bunch of quarters I've done play-by-play for. Can you tell why I'm so excited for Framingham touchdowns?
Well, you know.
But I imagine
you got to get material for that demo reel.
Of course. And exciting demo material doesn't really work if you're just half-hearting it on an opposition touchdown.
That is true. This is Doug Chicka doing the kickoff work for the Rams.
Try something different there as well.
Robert Jackson with the kickoff return.
Robert Jackson takes it to about the 32-yard line. 45 seconds left in this game. Because the Rams, they wanted to break 50. They've gone and done it.
They did.
I'm thinking of the last game we did in which Bridgewater had the 48-6 lead after Fitchburg scored the touchdown. Then they got the defensive two after the bad snap. So maybe they would have gone for 52, but they didn't have to go for it once.
Joe Haskins is in at quarterback for the Falcons.
And off for J.C. Santiago. Gets a good run there for about 6 yards.
Santiago, the ball carrier.
The Falcons do not have to run another play if they do not want to.
Colby McCoy applied
If they want to
to
try
Framingham.
something like a Hail Mary or something,
2nd and 3.
58 yards from goal.
I mean, they could.
20 seconds left. I have no idea how Haskins' arm is.
Yeah, it's not like we've seen him play quarterback this season.
Santiago is going to get another 5 yards. Stop the clock, move the chains.
Stop the clock, move the chains. That's the funniest thing you've said all day. Fortunately, it will start again, and they'll just mercifully end this.
They won't even move the chains. Good game, everybody. Framingham State victors today by a score of 56-7.
At the end of the first half, Dan, we pointed out that it was 14-0 and felt like it should have been a lot less close than that. This game ended 56-7 and could have been less close than that.
It could have been. Framingham could have legitimately had 70 if they wanted it, but too many mistakes from them, and they leave Elliott Field with just 56 points. They've got to work on the penalties, though. 11 for 108.
A mere 56 points. A measly, meager 56-point effort for the Rams. One more time, folks, we want to thank our football underwriters who bring this and every game possible. IC Credit Union, 300 Bemis Road, Fitchburg. North End Subaru, 757 Chase Road in Lunenburg. There's also Romano's Market, 138 Harvard Street in Fitchburg. Grand Rental Station, 88 Massachusetts Ave in Lunenburg. Fitchburg State University, find them 160 Pearl Street in Fitchburg. The Red Apple Farm, 455 Highland Ave in Phillipston. And of course, Neshoba Valley Medical Center, 200 Groton Road in Ayer, Massachusetts. Now, Dan, we also, of course, need to thank our annual underwriters who bring not only football, but every remote production to the folks here at home.
Yep, and you can see it on your screen, but we'll read it out as well. Rollstone Bank, Workers Credit Union, Unitil, Health Alliance Hospital, MART, Fitchburg State University, Minuteman Press, Sentinel and Enterprise, Hub International, and North End Subaru. And
North End Subaru joining us as an annual underwriter. Very cool.
Couldn't do it all without him. And so we'll be back here in 2 weeks. Fitchburg State and Westfield State will do battle here, 2 o'clock in 2 weeks' time in our next telecast.
Okay, I'm going to make a promise.
Yep.
And if it's wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll quit. The Falcons are not going to lose 56-7. I promise you. Be here in 2 weeks to see if I'm wrong.